Yo.
Alright, let's look at the Jira. What do I need to focus on? I'll be ready to get back into the game development full time probably tomorrow. I was just distracted with all the life altering events going on.
Right
Um,
on.
but I'll start back into making tools. So what do you have questions for specifically or wanted to go over?
Hold on, I'm trying to figure something else out now. Like why this? I had questions about. So I made what should be a moving platform. Like it looks like the one that you had made as an example, but it's not working for some reason. I'm just not sure why. I didn't really spend too much time trying to figure it out. I could probably figure it out. Now I'm trying to figure out lighting. Lighting is so hard.
Lighting is weird, and that's something we're gonna have to like spend time to figure out. I don't think
We should just
we
ask
need to
someone at
figure it
PGM
out.
if they can help. Like, there's got to be someone that's
Yeah.
good out of there.
I think it's good to like if you want to offer like, hey, we'll teach you how to do machine learning if you want to if you teach me how to do like visual effects and lighting. Um, make a trade there or something.
You'll see I put
Um,
the very most important thing, although I marked it lowest, it is the most important. Um, which is what I'm trying to do right now, which is to make an effect like when when Eris dies in Final Fantasy, I put a video in there too so you could see. Should cut right to the part that I'm talking about.
alright, I'm watching like effect like the light effect coming off of that. Is that what you're looking at?
Yeah, exactly. So
Yeah.
for um
Yeah, that's just a projection. I mean, that probably would be done through a lighting system. Not 100% sure yet. Doable because it's just a texture.
I was
Is
just
all it is.
trying to get a
It's like a
very,
light
very
texture.
basic version of it going, and like for
Mhm.
some reason, well now I'm gonna have to like I broke everything by switching to baked and hitting generate, and now all the lights are broken and nothing is on.
I
um,
think we like if you want to figure out lighting stuff. Like I wound up just taking all the lighting out of the first play test room because it just looked weird and was causing performance issues in random spots and shit. So I just took it out. Um, Yeah, I think it's a whole thing. Like it's gonna be something that we have to spend real time on, and like if you want to spend time on it, go ahead. But like I don't think it's necessary for all puzzles. I mean, there could be some cool puzzles,
no,
right?
it has
Like
nothing to do with puzzles.
working
I
with
was just trying to
shadows and
make
stuff,
I just could wasn't. I just
make
started
your room
doing it
pretty.
because I was bored,
Yeah.
waiting, and then I was like, well, but let me see. Alright, so now it's fixed, but I can recreate this.
You're not streaming, also. You're streaming. Oh, there it is. Never mind. I lied to you. Are
Oh,
these your asset? Oh, this is. Oh, I like these. You made these CSG assets, or did you pull them in?
some of it's random stuff from the 3. Like this is like a random thing from the 3D thing, but the this and
Mhm.
the
You
and
could make all this except for the statues and
I mean
the CSG.
except for this and
Yeah.
the statues and this, it is all me. But
Yeah.
but
But you could make all that stuff in CSG.
oh
It just
shit, just lost what I had done to do this, right? Yeah, I did. Whoops. Either way, I can redo it, and you can show me why it's not working. But what I was trying to do, thought a real simple version of that would just be take this, make this, make this big, like a 0.8, something like that. Put it way up here to get the effect. The script I did should still there. Um, then just do create a light, spotlight, pointing down, color red, intensity 10. Looks great, right? But then for whatever reason, when it's moving around, just fucks with all the everything.
Spotlights are notoriously glitchy. When I was making the Watcher thing, you can only have like 10 or something active spotlights in a scene, like, and maybe even less than that.
I would only want one if it would just work right, but everything flickers and looks insane.
Yeah, you have to mess with settings. I remember how there's like a light number of light probe settings that are allowed in your URP setup and stuff. I remember doing that a bunch. It was a huge pain in the ass. Um, for sure. That it's a whole thing. It's going to be a whole thing. Someone should learn it, but it's going to be probably like months worth of of messing with that and understanding it. Like, I don't. If you're trying to like just get something done in like an hour, I think I don't think it's gonna work sort of as you would hope, kind of thing.
That's unfortunate because it's a nice little. It would be a nice little effect if it worked. Very
Yeah,
simple, nice little effect. Why doesn't it just work? It does need to be. It would need to be a little skinnier.
yeah. Lighting is complicated. Yeah, that flash is a little weird.
At first, I thought it was because maybe it was like in the center of the ball, it was like interacting with the ball or like clipping through something, but it's not that because I've tried moving it all over the place relative to where the ball is. Right now, it's like over.
Like take the bounce off the ball, and is it just that bright when the ball's hitting the floor? Is that what it is?
If the ball is just like not
The
bouncing at
ball's
all.
just on the floor. Does it? Yeah. I'm a little behind you, but so don't spoil the ending.
It will.
Yeah, I can see it. I mean, it's happening right when you're just dragging it, right? So I can see it's happening already before you even hit play. Uh, I mean, it doesn't flash, obviously, but it does change the lighting.
Yeah, like where I'm
Um,
standing, even where my camera is positioned, seems to have an effect.
Yeah, it's totally a weird lighting thing. So, like, I think it's just like you need to. There are ways that you need to approach lighting that are just like specific to the lights. Like, I'm not an expert, so I don't know what I'm fucking talking about. But my understanding is the like yeah, you can't just lighting is very much not a plug and play solution. You have to figure it out a lot of the time. Um, it's not like the Unreal Engine lighting system, which is very much just works. Uh,
That's unfortunate. I thought that the lighting, the 2D lighting in Unity looked really cool and easy, and
hmm.
uh,
We could probably look for solutions online, or like we just don't need to focus on it right
it
now.
does. Yeah,
It's
no,
not
it
super
doesn't matter. I
important.
just
And we'll find time to focus on it and do it right, and like we'll learn it. Also, why is your camera so like or just the compression of the stream, but like the orb looks so low resolution? Is that just because you're super zoomed in on your scene camera or something? I
um.
guess everything kind of looks sort of a little jaggy. Like there's like no anti-aliasing, and the orb like
You're watching on
the
my
effects on
stream or on Discord? Am I streaming in
on your
Discord?
stream, yeah.
Should look
It just looks like
fine.
it does not look. It must be the compression of just Twitch. It looks it looks okay. It just doesn't look how I know it looks. It must just be the compression from going down to 1080p, and also just from whatever Twitch's shit does.
Um. Anyhow, all right. So the way you had it set up for the platform is it has like a parent object, right? Create empty.
Yeah, just because it makes it easier to drag the whole thing around. I like having parent objects. And I think I set it up so that if you try to click on it, it'll automatically select the parent object too.
Platform, and then maybe it's because I did this, but I like to just duplicate this and remove all the everything basically.
Theoretically, that should work, but I mean, so you got to put the moving platform thing on it, right? And I don't
Oh
remember.
wait, each of these objects has to have the moving platform thing on it, not just the parent.
Well, the parent. I let me see how I set it up. I don't remember.
I
I
thought
set that
that.
up a little while ago. It could be set up that It could be that I set it up to be on the parent so that it was more intuitive. That would make sense. That I would put it on the parent because then it would be way, way more intuitive.
I didn't see it on anything else.
Yeah.
I could just copy this one. I just want to know what it is. You know? Oh, why mine's not
Yeah,
working?
yeah. Here, let me. I'm loading mine up. But what is so? Yeah, I do have. Yeah. So then, yeah, all you have to do is replicate that. That should be all you have to do.
That is what I did, but it wasn't working here. I'll just do it again. You can tell me if I'm missing
So you have
anything.
2 platforms under there right now. So I mean, it's only gonna move one, right? Because you need to.
Yeah.
Don't you need to drop
Yeah,
the platform?
I just
Yeah.
like to put this second one, and I did it to yours too, actually,
Yeah.
where like I can actually see the outline of
Oh,
the.
I have a task to add that ability. Basically, yeah. I'm gonna make it so that you can see so that it shows like a ghost outline in the scene view only of where the way it's gonna look, when it ends up at that position. Yeah, that is something I already have a task for that, so you won't have to use fake objects in the future.
Um, but
I
yeah,
know how to do it too. It's just I didn't do it.
so this doesn't actually need any of this, right? It doesn't need that. Actually, how did I do this? how did
You don't
I
need the
how did I get
slider.
this over
You
here
don't need the
without
rigid body.
start and
Yeah.
end on yours? Oh wait, okay, I see what
They're
I
just
did.
empty objects with, uh,
Okay,
yeah, they're
maybe it's
literally just empty objects.
okay.
And on mine, I just like labeled them with labels so you can see them in world, but I don't have, you seem to have some sort of like box collider on them so you can see it, and I don't
Yeah, but
have box colliders
I did
on
take
mine.
that. I did have that so I could see them, and I
Yeah, I agree. That is how it should work, and it will work that way. That's literally in the task list for that specific task.
will do end. We'll duplicate, and we'll do start, and then we'll just copy. And then sorry. This one. There. Okay, so say I want that. And moving platform. Parent needs move platform on it and needs to be assigned as platform. And start.
So far, right now, you're just assigning the moving platform stuff, so I'm not quite privy to it yet. Looks like the backward rotation for some reason is being set, so I may have not put the default for that to be proper. I have mine linear as a default, so as like actually just a flat line. So and it looks like it's actually a flat line on the 1 mark. So let me update that code real quick. And you can do this too, but if we open up moving platform code.
Alright, maybe that was it. Hold on.
Oh, it should be set to 1-1 actually. It doesn't default set it to 1-1 because I do have it set to be a linear curve from 1 to 1. Weird that it didn't set it automatically, but All right, still not working. What? You're getting a null reference though. Just go look at that in your console. Again, I'm a little behind you, so I don't see it.
It is platform writable dot store rider positions.
Hold on. So that would be saying platform writable is null, right? Because store writer, if it's calling it at there, if that's the top level of the callback. So platform writable. Where is it? Fucking god.
Do you want me to stream to Discord? Is that easier?
Maybe a little bit. Hold on. I'll just platform writable. Where does this get set?
Why is this fucking thing
Oh,
floating?
it's because your platforms, Chris, need to have writable. They're writable on them. I made a object writable class. Because I thought maybe we'd want more things that are writable that are not just platforms. And this is also like a precursor of like, what if I kind of want things that are climbable? So put object writable on your platform.
Just the regular platform, not the start and end fake platforms?
Yeah, just a regular platform.
Alright, is there any reason it should be object controllable? I'm not sure why I had this
I don't know
on
why
here.
object controllable is on that. Probably, I assume when you were testing the. Remember when you were
Oh
testing picking
yeah,
up
because it used
the
to be a
certain
box, yeah,
platforms?
that you pick
Yeah.
up. I do want that to be a thing that happens eventually, but yeah.
Don't need it
Okay,
on
there
this
we go.
type of platform. I'm a little behind you, but hopefully it's working.
It is working, the curves are fucked up, but yeah.
Yeah, yeah, the curves just need to be updated, but yeah. Cool. Yeah, and mess around with it. See if these curves are the best way to do it. If they're intuitive. If not, we'll find another way. But like
Honestly, I was gonna
basically,
say I think once we put the serial thing in it, like once we have
yeah,
serialization
the
in, I honestly think
sequences,
I would just
right?
rather have no, like, maybe you could have the option to have a curve, but honestly my preferred thing would just be
It
like,
always goes to rotates to whatever it's rotating to.
right, it just always does a
Yeah,
smooth rotation, and then I just say here's here it goes here, then here, then here, then here with little ghost objects, and that's how I would make it.
yeah,
But
that's probably fine. I mean, that's totally fine. That probably makes sense. I think this is a good paradigm for us to like workflow. I guess is a better word. Like, like you'll get the first release of these features because you're a programmer and you can actually go look and see stuff and you can you know and but ideally I want these features to be usable by Dave and Jeff too. So like it's a good to have like you know you testing them first and kind of getting a feel and you can help me help design like the actual interaction like how Dave and Jeff will mess with these properties to make it easiest for people that don't program to design levels.
yeah, yeah, I'm down
And
for
you
that.
saw the rune property editor now. So now if you want to change rune
Uh,
properties, there's that.
Honestly, I was gonna say this the other day, but like the only I like with the whole thing about like refactoring code and me wanting my code to be left alone, though, the real reason for that is like I don't care, but the
Mm.
real reason for that is part of my process as a designer is doing the code and seeing what that looks like and maybe incorporating some of the mistakes that I make into the
That's totally
design.
fine. I
But
don't.
like,
I'm not saying you can't program. I'm totally fine with it, but just
no, I'm
expect it to be
saying,
refactored when it's done.
but I'm saying like the opportunity to do that sometimes disappears when you refactor because, like, I don't like. It just does. It's just like my understanding of it, the way I understand it, and the mental process associated with that thing that causes like what's a good example of this? Like, for example, like if you and I were working on the dinosaur game together and I did shadows the way I did them, you would have not stood for it and immediately gotten rid of it because It is basically an
I
object
wouldn't.
that like destroys itself over and over and over again, and it's incredibly inefficient. But it doesn't
Wouldn't
matter
have
for that game.
gotten rid of it, right? But would have just done it in a different way. Like the function would be there, just not the form, right? Like it would just be it would have
Right.
been done in a different way.
But
So
like,
maybe the option here, the best approach here is instead to uh
but I'm saying even if you kept the form, the function of it, right? I then designed every other element of that game with that bad optimization and worked around it in certain ways that and eventually, and if it like too much interferes with my vision, I get like I will go back and fix it, but nothing ever did. So like I designed everything else in a way to get around that, and every puzzle element is sort of built off that one bad first decision, and I like that. Like,
well, that's like, I mean, that's a good example of why you don't like why you refactor often and early. Like because in a small game like that, like a game jam game, that makes a ton of sense. Sure, it's not that big a deal. You're just releasing it, but like we're trying to sell this. We're trying to sell this game as like to a not sell it, but you know what I mean. Sell the concept of the game. They sell a publisher on funding us. I guess is a better way to phrase it. And like, and not only that, but like this game that we're making is way bigger and way more complex than the Shadows game. So like the stuff what you were talking about, the thing you're describing is like usually referred to as tech debt. And if you don't design well, like all those things, all those hoops you had to jump through to like make it work around and get things to work with like the let's say the hacky way that you've described that you've designed that one mechanic, that will eventually make things impossible. And eventually, like for like you could have a great idea, something that would make the game a lot better, but you for some reason the game's just not performing well on a project, or you literally can't implement it with the way that it works currently, and you're gonna have to go back and do all that work later when you don't remember how the code
I don't
works and
think
all
you
that.
do
It
though.
just
Like I think you just, I
you
think
do though, Chris.
if
I
you're not,
promise you, this is a huge constant. They pound this into your head when
I'm
you
sure
go through
programmers tell you
school.
that. Yes, I'm just saying for like there are
Even
like
if you
if you ever
follow
listen to Phil Fish,
game
do you think Phil
developers,
do you think yeah, do you think Phil Fish is a legit game designer and do you
I
value
don't know
his
who Phil Fish is.
the guy who did Fez?
Okay.
So he'll tell you how many times he did exactly what I just described. It's just a
Maybe if he's
philosophy.
making a smaller game, it's not a philosophy though, Chris. It is a fundamental fact about programming.
I'm not saying you're
Is
wrong that you will that eventually you'll bump up against something where you'll have to go back and do it, but it doesn't have to be that late in the process. It just doesn't have to be
I
like
know that's what I'm saying. It doesn't have to be. So let's just do it right away and early and make and have things be clean and easy to maintain. So that as you know, especially as you work with multiple people, like when people, I think the Fez developer developed that on his own. As you program with multiple people, this gets extremely important because then you need to worry about how other people are going to interact with your code and how what makes it easier for others that didn't write the code
yeah,
to
I agree with
interact with your
that. I
object.
think once if we were a team of 4, 5, 6, it does become slightly more unmanageable at that level. But we're a team of 2 right now, and the I'm just saying like having that code there so I can and letting me design other elements with those mistakes, even if we go back and refactor it later, the like it opens up design avenues that would not be there otherwise. That just I wouldn't even consider it if the thing I'm working around wasn't there, and sometimes I find something I really like in that, and it can come pretty early in the process. So like
I'm not
that
saying so. Yeah, then the earlier it comes, that's fine. I'm just saying. Okay, so what I was gonna suggest was why don't you have your own branch? If you can learn to use like the finer tune the lower level get functions, then we can make a system where you can program whatever the hell you want in your branch, and only when you are happy with it and done and ready for it to be refactored do you merge it into the branch where I will refactor it.
Yeah, that's
That
fine.
way you have your own isolated area. You can code as however you want. But only when you're ready to incorporate it into the bigger game, and when you're ready to say, okay, I've gotten what I need out of this. Now you can refactor it to work with the rest of the game. Um, Only then that do you merge it back into the branch, and to do that, you'll just need to understand how to do like selectively grab and merge specific changes. And that's actually not that hard. You could even do that through the GitHub desktop app, but it's easier to do through the
I
keyboard
don't. Isn't
command
that
line.
what? How? I mean, I already have made my own branch. How is this different from that? Like,
Well, this is just saying isolating everything only you the biggest thing here rule is as soon as you bring it over, it's now open for me to uh refactor. So as soon as anything comes over from you, as soon as I see it in in our shared branch, I'm going to take that as a cue as okay, I can refactor this now to make sure it works with all the other systems that we have because uh, again, the systems we have lots of systems here that need to be designed to work well together.
all right. Let me show you the issue I was having with the issue that's sort of getting in the. Here we have to turn the platform thing off of this. So the way I like the really easy version of the way I'd like a puzzle like this to work. Ultimately, it's just like.
You're getting your null reference again. Did you take off the rival?
Yeah, I did because I don't want to move it right now.
That's just because the moving platform script is on, but you can just, disable
But
that.
basically, like, I feel like I should be able to draw more easily on this, but it's like just at such an angle, right, where I can't easily
Oh, I
get
don't like the way that works for you. Go ahead though.
the rappel to like work over here. Even if I go real slow
It's
and
weird. Yeah, no, it shouldn't be that. It's real. It's like none of the. It's too bumpy. It should not be that bumpy. Draw on anything else.
from that far away, all right, we'll say. I mean, it always works this way, right? Like, the more up close it is, the easier it is. Just
Not for me though. This is that same issue of like, yeah, it
I,
is. It does get a little bit, but not that bad. Like it's real bad for you. How jittery it gets. That's something that needs to be
I also
fixed.
have my mouth sensitivity way, way up. Let me try turning it down, I guess. But like,
I'll
I don't
turn
like,
mine all the way up.
I don't like the way it I just don't really like the way it feels when. But
Oh yeah, that
even if it did work, it would just is still hard because you're drawing at. It will always. This is just a problem of like space, like in physics and the physicality of the mechanic we're using is like. It's just always gonna be weird drawing on something at this an angle, and it wouldn't matter if my
Mhm.
jump distance were just this, then it wouldn't matter because this could be close. But the premise of this kind of puzzle is like I get I get one, I'm just barely able with my longest jump to make this and the next jump, right? But I don't actually.
Sorry, I'm a little bit behind, so I'm watching. But yes, okay. So I see you making the first jump, and yeah, you can't make the second jump. But
Actually, I can if it's right in the middle, but
gotcha. Okay.
it wasn't there yet.
I got the point though. So you can just barely make the jump.
But like, so then is every puzzle like this going to be a thing? This is my current solution, where like I'll just put a, my current solution is I'll put a pressure plate right here. You'll walk up and press the pressure plate. I don't know if you saw my new um
Pressure plate.
thing for on the Jira for moving platforms, but I was like, basically moving platforms should break down into 3 types and yada yada yada, and one of them was like a powered type. And so like the powered type, I would step on this thing and it would move from its start position to its end position until I move off the power thing or until its source is unpowered.
Hmm.
And
So
so
I do plan to, I want to modularize those basically, but yeah, that's fine. Like basically, I want to set up a system of like, these are powerable things, and as long as you put you put like the interface of I like powerable object on it, then basically you can turn anything on and off. So yeah, so that stuff should be super easy in the end. I plan to have like powerable stuff that is switchable, toggleable, just have interfaces for that kind of thing. That stuff is pretty is like how they teach you to do it when you're doing Unreal Engine stuff. So it'll be pretty in line with that paradigm.
but so like the my current solution is to just so I'll step on I'll step on a pressure plate right here. It'll come, the platform will come over to me and like, you know, go up into this end position so that I can easily draw on it, right?
Hmm.
And then when I step off the pressure plate, it'll go back and then it'll have the rune that I had on it.
Yeah.
Um, of course, then I guess maybe not pressure plate, because then if when I'm running, I'm probably gonna hit it and it will start coming back to me. But like something like that, right?
Hmm.
Um, and but I have other puzzles where the whole idea was like it would basically be a grid of nothing but these kind of breakable platforms and non-breakable platforms, and it would all be, and each within just one jump distance. Um, and the whole thing would be about like, so imagine there's 2 of these, and like say this one's breakable, this one's not, or something like that, and like the whole thing is about like skipping certain ones by putting a repel rune on it, jumping, and then it skipping you over that one, and then like what path do you have to take with the available runes you have, and which ones do you have to skip to be able to go there and back, is like the idea of this next the puzzle that would come after this one.
Hmm.
Um, the but like in that situation, just like I don't have the same luxury of being able to do just a pressure plate unless I have all the things come over to you at the same time and you just draw on them. But like I think that's
Well, I mean that's yeah. I mean, in the end, it's a fundamental. You're right. Like it just we shouldn't be expecting or requiring people to draw on a face down or from that distance on a flat surface, right? It just doesn't feel good. So maybe, I mean, maybe the solution is to have some puzzles where like you literally have the pieces, like the machinery pieces that you get to pick up and put in, so you can draw on it and then pick it up and put it in to place.
yeah. So if you look at
Like it
my thing
snaps
in the
in.
Jira, it's sort of like that. It actually
Yeah.
involved, so the mirror
Oh, let me
rune.
pull up the Jira thing. We already have a puzzle or a moving platforms thing, so I'll just put that in there. I'll combine them all. Let me grab this. Copy.
But I basically said like it might be neat if this is the only puzzle I can think of where this issue presents itself, then maybe the solution is to use so I had the idea for the mirror rune, or a rune, what I was calling the mirror rune before, I'm now calling the clone, and the mirror rune is what I'm calling, you draw an area, and then you draw another area just like it, and then you draw a rune in either one, and it'll be reproduced in the other, basically.
Mm-hmm.
So it's like a duplicate your rune spell, basically, area.
Mm-hmm.
Um, And I thought maybe there could be some pre-populated mirror runes on the platforms and on the wall, and like you wouldn't know yet that they were mirror runes. It would just seem like a puzzle constraint to you at the time that like, oh look, there's three platforms and there's a drawing of three platforms on the wall. I draw my runes on them and then they appear over there, and you wouldn't even realize that the mirror thing was a rune, and that's a way to get around it.
Yeah, that could be interesting. I mean, that's fine. We can make all that work. Whatever just makes the most sense.
The other solution is just like make the jump distance real short, which is a good solution, honestly. The only thing I don't like about it is in the open world, I want you to have a kind of long jump for fucking around.
Yeah, it would feel better. Yeah. Um. Yeah, we have to figure. There's some stuff to figure out, but I mean, this at this point though, this is just none of this is fundamentally like against the or rather, these are just you just need these options, right? You just need these as available options to you, so I can program that in so that you can see what feels
Yeah,
best.
if you just follow what I put in for the moving platforms one and can get that in pretty soon, that should solve most of my immediate issues with this room. And then the
Source
next
powered and then rune powered. Platform sits in the start position until
oh
runes drawn.
oh that's the other option. That was my solution for the grid room is like all the platforms are originally just lined up, right? And then you walk over and you draw a rune on each of them and they move into place basically.
Yeah, I think that's cool. I like that idea. I like the idea of like, it like siphons the magic from the rune to power itself or something. That's cool. And yeah, then it gives you makes for some ease of work. Basically, you can, and that, you know what's cool about that too. Once we get the dispel in, and you can look at it, you dispel it, and the thing just comes right back to you.
Yes, exactly.
Yeah, that's cool. I like that a lot. That's good design. Um, yeah, that should be easy to do. The Powerable one is the only one that is. I know how much you love me over designing. Is the only one that is going to require some design work. The rest of that is easy to do.
Wait, what do you mean over design work?
Not over like I'm just joking, saying it's over designing, but it's gonna. I'm going to need to, for like the powers platform. Ideally, it'll just be. I'm going to make it like a broad set of things that are powerable. That way, they can all
Yeah,
use the
I
same
agree.
interface, basically. So one power source will be able to power a million different things. Anything that is of type powerable, you know. So I just have to think about how to implement it, which is going to be through an interface. Um, I just need to think about exactly how it will work, but that should take me a day to do. Um,
The way I had envisioned it was just like you put and you call something, well, at least for the moving platforms, you say this is you just give it an object that's the thing I'm powered by, and if that thing itself is powered, then I'm doing some action.
yeah. The question for the design question being how do we implement it in a designer friendly way? Like, am I just going to make a iPowerable interface, a powerable script that is one that you have to add to everything, like it's a component, and you add it to everything, and then you just drag any other component into it, and it just turns that component on? That's one option, right? But that's actually not how normally it's done.
That
Normally,
sounds pretty intuitive to me, honestly.
that
But
does sound intuitive. That's my first thought. I don't know. I'm gonna have to test. I'm gonna do them both and see what like. You don't know, kind of like you were saying earlier. You don't know the issues that you're gonna run into until you run into them, and then they give you other ideas. But in this case, you don't know what problems you're gonna have until you actually put it in, for sure. But the other way that people normally do it is make it an interface, which is like basically you'd still need to add a component to it, but then the interface has like required functions that have to be on that in that component type. And then I guess the difference there being, if I had one interface that said I am iPowerable, and then you can make subclasses of the of powerable components. So you can say I am I am just generally powerable, or I am rune, like a rune only powerable, right? So we could make like orb powerable or rune powerable, two separate subclasses that have like when you run the powered function, they both have powered functions on them, but when you run powered on the rune powerable, it checks first to see the power source, and if it's not a rune, it doesn't actually do what it's supposed to do, versus um, uh, the orb powerable one, it checks to see if it's an orb, right? So that's an example of why an interface is actually technically better. There's still a component-based system, but the idea is the interface tells you anything that descends from me and implements this interface is going to have this method to call. So all orbs will know, all power sources will know that whatever they're powering will have this method they call it. They just call that method blindly, not knowing what exact type of object they're working with.
Yeah.
But
I,
then the actual implementation is up to the thing. So that it is probably an interface the way I'll do it.
I do. I was gonna say, I my vote would be for the first way. If you're gonna do them both, that's fine. But just because when I designed when I first started designing the Shadows game, I did it at this exact thing that we're doing right now, and I did it not the interface way quite exactly because there's no components in Game Maker,
Well, the
but
interface is is more of a, yeah. I don't think they have interfaces in Game Maker,
right,
but yeah,
but basically like I
not a
went
component.
I thought about everything. I tried to design a holistic system where anything that like here these were the types of things there could be there were switches, there were things that were powered by fire, there were like boolean there were two types of switches. There were boolean switches where like you or three types actually. There's a timer based one, so a switch that switch on and then off after a certain amount of time. There was one that where it was like every time you rode by it in any direction, it would switch its direction. So it was like a left or right switch, basically you could think of it as. And then the
Mhm.
third one was like a boolean off or on. So every time you hit it, it switched between off and on instead of left and right. And I designed every single thing that would react to that, which is about 10 or 12 different items, different puzzle elements, to each have a state that was, like that correlated to one of those power types being attached to it, and it would just attach to the nearest one or the one I assigned it at creation if I wanted it to be different than the nearest one, and then
Well, that would be an example of like, yeah, that's definitely a thing you can do, but like lots of high number of states is actually an example of a pattern you're not supposed to do, specifically not supposed to do because they're hard to maintain, and it kind of just gets you like as you if you get lots and lots and lots and lots of states, you get like
I mean
one giant file
the
of
number of states
states.
was not the problem. It was only
Yeah.
six states for every thing, and that's 12 things, six states. So there's a lot of potential there. But like as I made it all, and everything worked perfect. And then as I started making the actual levels, I was like, I'm not using even half of this, honestly. Like most puzzles, most of this stuff is literally just incompatible with puzzles because of the way everything works. Like it's hard to explain it, but
But yeah, I get what you're saying, but it sounds the way it sounds. I'm not taking it at face value, but the way it sounds is like is it sounds like it's reinforcing my like good design is important idea of like you ran up to something that it just didn't work, um, but maybe it could have if it was if you like
no, I'm
because
saying
if you go back and redesign and go back
everything
and
worked.
redesign.
It's just the way it worked. Everything worked perfectly. It's just the way it worked. I would never design a puzzle with some of the things the way they worked. It just doesn't make sense to make the puzzle with that. You know what I mean? It's not that it wasn't working. It's just that the things
Yeah,
I
well,
made
I
were
mean,
useless.
this is. I mean, we won't be making anything that's not necessary, right? It's the idea is so. I mean, the
Is it?
basically the interface method is just the way you
So
do these
this
things.
isn't this isn't.
Like,
Sorry, I didn't mean to make that comparison. The thing I'm getting at here is you were saying like earlier on the like, might we want to have other different powerable objects, or is it just the platforms? We might want to have others, right? And that's true, but like, if you're choosing a thing, an option because you might a lesson I learned from the from that making that shadow game was like, do your design and the design of that holistic system piecemeal and side by side, because like you'll end up designing things that are just that you just don't need. uh
So we already have multiple power sources. We have a rune power source and a orb power source. So that already warrants using an interface. Right there, you have shared code, which is they both can be powered. So they both have at their core they're doing the same thing. It's just the source changes.
Wait, wouldn't that?
Um,
I thought both the interface or the other method would apply to both
They both
things,
apply.
right?
The interface. In the end, of the way I was thinking about it, the basically uh, the interface method is it's also maybe a misnomer. Like the question, it's really just the method is does how do you want to now that the more I'm even talking through this right now and thinking about it is there is only one way. It's the interface way. It's just, the only difference is how many power sources did we have. If it was one power source and we knew it was always going to be one power source and that was it, then the first way made sense. But as soon as you bring in a second power source, that's going to have slightly different behavior that needs to be programmed in, but they're still going to share some behavior. The interface is the way you do it. That's just the way you handle things that are not classes, because it's not its own. It's not like a class object. It's a behavior is what you're trying to define, and when you have behaviors, a real lightweight way of of sort of helping others work with your that behavior is to use an interface that says all an interface is a set of methods that you know if this thing implements that interface that it implements some method with this name.
Wait, wasn't that? I thought that's what you described as the non-interface thing. It's just like
No,
you
that's the
you you
interface, and
say.
the interface is literally just a thing that just says if I am powerable, then I know, for example, that or then if something is powerable, then I know that that thing implements the powered method, or power on, power off methods, or something like that, or like on power on is powered, on power off callbacks, something like that. I know it will implement those. So because I have an interface, then I can say, okay, here's my rune powered object that implements iPowerable interface. Now, anything that uses that rune power, when you try to grab the component for it, you're gonna grab a component, not the rune powered component, but you're gonna get component iPowerable. And it won't matter if it's a rune component, what it is, you're just gonna get that component iPowerable. And then you're gonna know that whatever it is implements those methods. Um, so that is why you use the interface, and that's good. And that's like again a thing that you need to take time to think about and design. I'm sure I'm going to run into other reasons of or other issues in general as I design it out. But the uh, point being is otherwise the alternative is let's say we have 5 6 different types of powerable object and each one has a different way of interacting. So like let's say the rune one has a method called on power, and the switch powerable object has a method called switched or something, right? Then all of a sudden anyone trying to work with those two objects, even though they basically do the same thing, has to go through all the code for the switch stuff, has to go through all the code for the rune stuff to figure out how to actually call and make the thing turn on and do the thing you want. Versus if you know it's powerable and you know it implements iPowerable, all you have to know is, oh, I call the on powered method because that's what's happening now.
I
That's
s- I
basically the how interfaces
I got.
simplify code.
I guess I didn't really understand the difference. I still don't kind of understand the difference between the first method and the interface, but the like the
Well, like I was saying, there is no, like, as I talked through it, there is no fundamental difference between the first and the second. I as I talked through it, they actually are the same thing. It's just the first the two options are we only have one powerable object or multiple one power source or multiple power sources. As soon as you have multiple power sources that can behave slightly differently, at that point you have to use the interface. It just makes the most sense. Um, the the thing I was saying about before, where you turn a component on or off just based on whether it's powered, that can still happen. It just needs to descend from an I-powerable component. It just needs to rather not descend, but it needs to implement the I-powerable interface. I meaning interface powerable is just the naming convention that all programming languages use. Um, so you could still have that exact functionality if you just want like a general parable behavior, then it could literally just be that. But if we want some more unique parable behavior, um, then we like if we want to change things to only be powerable by a rune, or if we want to change things to be to have different behavior when it's powered. Like for example, you could have a door that slowly shuts when it's powerable. Like the door would like a door would that like slow shut door or immediate shut door. That could be a different type of powerable, right? Something that implements iPowerable, where one, when you turn off the power to it, the door will slowly shut, and that needs to be programmed separately, but it still implements the methods power on, power off, or whatever the hell we want to call them.
so is this still in the paradigm of like the from the point of view of the thing that's getting powered? It's just looking at the power source, saying whether it's powered, and then I do this if it's powered and this if it's not, or are you saying that?
Yeah, let me stream. It might be more straightforward if I just like what I'm talking about is probably easier to understand if I just show you a picture of it. Like, so basically, we'll have right this box represents anything that implements, and this is technically UML, but I'm going to do lazy UML. But this is like anything that this is iPowerable, right? iPowerable.
And this is what, an object?
This is the interface. So it's just a I forget the UML exact way to do it, but it doesn't matter anyway because you don't know UML either. But it's just an interface to something that when you're writing it in the class, like you'll have your class name, like it'll be like this is class door, and then it's a mono behavior, right? Because that's what it is. But then you do comma, and then it's I powerable. And then as soon as you add that, it's gonna complain at you, and it's gonna say you need to add these methods that are I powerable. So, if, for example, if we have I powerable, if let's have on powered and on not powered or something. It's really dumb. Probably have better names, but but let's say those are two methods that the iPowerable interface defines. So that means anything that implements this interface that has this in its class definition has to implement these methods with these two names and those method signatures. So it'll have like if we say, oh, the iPowered or on-powered thing, you have to tell you like the power source is going to be included in that call so that you know what's powering it, right? And then down here, we'll have, for example, like a door, a moving platform, I don't know, something else. Come up with something else that can be powered, right? But like this is a door, it's powerable. Uh, door. This is a platform. This is something else. This is platform. Should probably just have typed these with text, but whatever. and this is elevator, right? I guess that's technically a platform, but you get the idea. Each of these will have their own on-powered and not powered, and on not powered methods, but how they're implemented is completely up to the programmer. It doesn't matter. All I need to know is that now, as a object button, when I'm connected to, I will have like a public, not a public, right, but a serialized variable that is like connected, powerable. Let me get a text here so it's a little easier. Connected, right? Connected object, let's just call it. Right? And I know that whatever, and that connected object is going to be of type iPowerable. So I know that whatever is implemented, whatever is the connected object is of iPowerable. So when the button, I'll define methods here for when the button is pressed to run on powered, right? And I'll define methods of when the button is released to run on not powered.
So what does this look like as components on an object? Maybe
So
explain
at
it.
the end, all you so on the object, the beautiful thing of this is, like here's our inspector, right? Here's our inspector. All you need to have on like the door is this door component. Door goes there, right? Door. And then over here, here's our inspector for our let's call this our button, right? So it has the button component, button, and as part of the button component is this connected object, right? And because door is of type iPowerable and connected object will be of type iPowerable, all you do is drag door into this, and it'll work as long as whatever. Or you could drag platform into this, or you can drag elevator into this. Because it's of type iPowerable, everything can be dropped right into this, and it will know to call these two methods, right? So so it's super convenient, right? For a button, you don't need to know, you don't need to, like, if I did it any other way, if I had these all defined as door, platform, elevator with their own separate methods and weren't all iPowerable, then I would have to on this button have a different variable that handled doors or platforms or elevators, right? Different connected objects. But because they all come from the same, they all implement the same interface, I can just have this variable that looks for anything with this interface and will accept that. And because I know that those things will all run with these methods. Does that make sense?
Yeah, I kind of get it.
It'll be easier to see in code, and this is actually, I think, going to be a good example of like, you'll see this when it's done and say, oh, this makes a ton of sense. I think this is like a classic example of why you use interfaces, and like this is like the, hey, I'm learning design, like software engineering design. Like this is one of the first things they teach you, this type of pattern. I forget what the pattern's called, but it's really just an interface.
As long as it's not like, so, say I have,
Let me go back over to your stream.
Because really, door, platform, elevator, right? Like they're all really the same thing, all of them.
Yeah, that's
in
the
my
point.
mind.
But they're powerful, but they're gonna do different things, right? So
Right,
like
but
the door is gonna open and shut a door, and what if I want that to happen slowly? So like, the door will be, slow, open, on, powered, so that I need it to be continually powered, right? So then that way I can have, you don't just open it and it flies open and you can run through real quick or something, right? So I want it to be, so that's like, oh, I want the spinner to have to run this door or something to be the power. So or like a button right? If I once I get off of it, it's gonna shut or whatever, right? Or whatever that is. So I want it to have that specific behavior for the door. It's going to open something slowly, and it's also a door. It's fundamentally different than a platform, right? It's uh, it's
I
going to open something in a different way. I guess it's not
I
fundamentally.
kind of don't see it that way. I like this is what I was saying before is like,
All right,
do
well
we
then, how about this instead? Not a door. We'll add one more parable here. It's going to be, um,
light
electric field.
light source or
Light
something?
bulb.
Yeah.
Yeah, exactly. 100%. Light source is a great one. Light source. Fundamentally different. It is, oh god. Uh, but it works but it will still work with the button. So the light source we would program, right, to, activate some light source when powered. I'm writing these poorly, but like on powered,
Right.
on
That's
powered.
if we wanted. So if we had a light rune, I was like if you have ideas for having a light source associated with a powerable thing, that's then yeah, cool. But I'm just saying if all we have is if really all we're talking about in terms of the stuff that gets powered is stuff that moves around, that could probably all just be one thing, right? But like
Well, maybe because like okay, you have the door. I could have like a slow opening door. I could have a fast opening door. I could have a revolving door. It's a rotation. It's a little different,
right,
right?
all that functionality is in the paradigm of the platform that we're doing right now. It is just a platform that is like, receded into the wall basically.
Yeah, it is. You're right. That a lot of that is shared. You probably could make a door and a platform work very similarly, but how about this for a door? It can be locked, right? So instead of that's a little bit different behavior, right? So it needs to be powered, but it also can be locked,
If you
right?
so that I did conceive of that as a sort of different type of door. I thought of the powerable door as basically a platform that moves left and right when it's powered or not, right? Moves into position of opened or closed when it's powered or not, and the lockable doors as a different thing, like a
Mhm.
not a powerable thing, just like a something that either you have the key for or you don't, and then it goes into a different state. So like I guess you could call the key the powering object in that case.
Yeah, we could have. I wonder if there's also maybe a paradigm for like a door that requires multiple power sources, which then we'd kind of try actually
But
flip
no,
the
I
way.
don't want the door to
Yeah.
be just a that door to be because I do still want the portal door thing. So that door has to be a different thing, like a
Mhm.
fundamentally different kind of thing in my mind.
So we could have, yeah. So there's a basically the point being is we have like the light source is a great example, and you can I'm sure it won't be that hard to come up with more puzzles that require like if we're gonna have a power source, I feel like you can't just have a power source that all it does is open doors, right? Like there's so much more potential in that. Um, but in the end, that's what it comes down to is there more than one type of thing you're powering? And is there more than one type of thing that can power things? I guess is another part of it. Because basically, if everything that if powering is only if they're all movable platforms, then you're right. We can just hard code this here and the button as movable platform and move on with our lives.
That's
But
another. Sorry, go ahead. Keep going, and I'll.
but if we ever want any other behavior where you can have multiple, like a light source that's powered or something else or anything else that it could be powered,
Yeah, I
then at
agree.
that point,
At that point, yeah.
this is what it is.
but
Yeah.
but I can't think of anything right now. Like, and the stuff the elements that I had designed in that one room, even the power sources themselves, I would say aren't fundamentally different from each other. They're just aesthetically differently. Like the power plate and the orb power platform I conceptualized as an off or an on fundamentally, and how you make them off and on is different, and it's has something to do with the physicality of the world. But as a
Yeah.
function of them being a power source, they're off or on, and that's all that
Well, yeah,
matters.
that happens up here. That will happen. That happens at this stage. So you'd have your button right, and then you have your rune. Like we'll have to build in a function into the runes here, but the rune would do the same thing. It would have its own uh, it would have its own way to recognize connected object being powered. Basically, when the rune's parented, it would ask if its parent has a is of type iPowerable, right? Has an iPowerable component on it. But it could also ask if the parent has a movable component on it. All that matter. The only question is, are we going to have multiple types of powerful things? Like the light source thing could be cool. Like if the orb is not a slot in thing, but a power aura, there's kind of a cool scene you could do where you're walking through a bunch of torched areas, right? And the orb, these torches flick on as you walk through them because you have the orb in your hand, um, kind of
Yeah,
thing.
yeah, that's the I yeah, that could be cool. The um I just hadn't thought of it any put like wait, because you have the orb in your so meaning like the light sources would not be attached to a pressure plate or a power pillar thing. They would just be. Hold on, Rim's talking to me. What's up?
Mhm.
What? No, I haven't talked to her about it yet. Just me. I bought it up briefly, but I'll talk to her about it later. Okay. Um. The what was I saying? So you're saying
Well, like, what if we had a puzzle, right? A simple puzzle where, like, okay, your job is to figure out with runes how to pass this power orb back and forth. Like, let's say this is a power orb back and forth that has an area of effect powering to trigger these light sources so that you can carry something else through a hard to navigate space because it's dark and there are hazards. So, like, let's say there's like top down view, right? Here's a puzzle room, and like here's like a set of paths that are walkable. Anything else is death or something, right? And just say this is on one big room, and this is a bad puzzle, right? Because it's not that interesting, but of a path. But you get the idea, right? You start here, you have to get here. Everything is black unless it's lit. So your job is to somehow like pass this power orb, right, back and forth across so that'll light your way essentially, as you walk across the path
yeah, I wouldn't do it with
because you're carrying something and you can't carry two things. Sorry,
as
bro.
I do want there to be a light rune. I wouldn't do this as light. I would just do it as like this is a power source. This is a thing that needs to touch all these spots, and they all need to ding on, and then the door will open, right?
Mhm.
But same concept. Yeah, I get what you're saying.
Yeah, the point being is there's something cool. There's something we could do cool light source. We could make it a light rune for sure. Um, I don't know. Point being is even through all this,
But you're saying that fundamentally the this type of power source where it just needs to be near something to turn it on is a different type of power source.
no, I'm just saying that that's like something that benefits from this. I'm just saying that's another type of power source. That was really a reason for the light source of another type of powered object of an eye powerable. It was like that because all of them essentially in the end, if we decide that everything that we want to be powered is basically just a moving object, then we don't need any of this. You're right. You can just reference the moving object script and it'll work. But as long as we don't have too many, as long as that moving object script truly needs to be is like applicable to all types of powerful objects, right? Because I don't want a moving object script that is 1,000 lines long, and this instance of it only uses 10 of those lines, right? Because it doesn't need to use the rest because the rest are for the elevator or the platform, right? You know what I mean?
Yeah.
Yeah, so if we find ourselves with if we want to stick to just the moving platform implementation, then okay, we could refactor this out to this design later. But if that moving platform thing, like if we find like, oh, this this is a bad example because we already said we wouldn't do this. But for example, if we find that we add a locked boolean in there because we want the doors to also be able to be locked separately and not just powered, then but like platforms will never use that and elevators will never use that, then at that point that's when we say, oh no, this should really be iPowerable, we should really do an interface for this because that's code that will never get used in these. And at that point, why do we have two? Why do we have it all in one object when it's really should be its own?
Gotcha. Yeah, yeah. There's I think in a game like this, and with the scope that I think we're going for, like you know, I think just moving objects are enough. Like personally,
Maybe
and
we'll see.
I just got done designing the Shadow game, which did have like all sorts of different powerful stuff, and it started at a point. Some of my favorite levels are just like all that funky stuff and all the what's the word I'm looking for? All these contraptions, right, are like feel started to feel a little contrived, and some of my favorite levels are the ones with the least of them in them, where it's just about the mechanic itself. And so I'm trying to this game steer more towards a very simple thing, just like the powerful things are just like moving things basically, and that's the one contrivance, and there's not going to be too much like this does this and then this thing over here does this when it's powered and yada 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 and all that, like that stuff I think should come from the runes themselves rather than the puzzle
Yeah, I mean, we
elements.
are of a more magical themed game, so you're right. Like I did find myself in that conversation thinking, well, no, if like I don't want like too much machinery. Like
Yes,
it's a game about magic, not so like I'm thinking in terms of magic, where like floating platforms is still totally a thing, and the floating platforms that require power orbs still totally a thing. Like teleporters are a thing. Like that would be something that would be different. Like light sources still could consider, like if I'm trying to think of all the different types of powerful things, right? Then at that point I'm thinking, you know, light sources, um, floating objects, I guess, or platforms, um, teleporters if we want them. Uh,
see that's the teleport is another one I would just do with this. That is how I pictured the swap
the
rune
door
working,
rune, I guess,
or
or the swap
or
rune, or
yeah, or
whatever. Yeah,
portal
there's
portal or swap.
lots of rooms.
Like light and teleport I would do with runes, like personally, but
Like
we
runes
can.
attached to platforms, I guess you would
Right,
do.
exactly, right, like
Yeah.
think of the platforms as just the way to move those, like the runes are the machinery, quote unquote. The platforms are just where you're where we're allowing you to put them. The platforms and the solid objects in the room are just where we're allowing you to put them.
I mean, at that point, I guess it
But
doesn't work
I'm not
exactly
sure
for
yet.
everything.
Like
I'm thinking at
that's
that
what I'm
point, it would be
saying.
cool
Like
to have like remember we talked about the path rune, like to literally make you draw the path, but then everything has to be wall based or ceiling
yeah,
based or floor
exactly.
based, which
Yeah,
isn't good.
which is not as fun. Yeah,
Um,
unless you
Not as
could.
fun unless there's like one where you can define just waypoints, where like you draw something on something and then you define waypoints for where it has to go, and it'll do it just at whatever height it's already at. Um,
I think the way we personally, I think the way we have it, I think the platforms are fine. As long as they're the one the one thing, like the one machine
mm.
like contrivance, you know, but like it's I'm not 100% sure on this yet. Like it could be it could be the case that we get to a point where it's like we have found something we don't want to do. We don't want the player to be able to draw this anywhere, and we want this functionality, so it has to be an eye powerable. But in my head, I'm just like, in my head, I really do think we get away with just a much more focused uh, and like uh,
You might be right on the. I'm leaning more towards like yeah, like this could easily be just a moving platform thing if that's the only powerful thing we want to do. Like so I could I'll bend on that a little bit. Like we could always honestly this could be implemented in 5 seconds. So I've already done like this talk. I've done the work I need to do to implement it. I know exactly how to do it now. Um,
Yeah,
but
go ahead
the
and do it. There's no reason not to do
yeah.
it. Especially if it's quick. But like, that's what I
So
was trying to
but
say before. Is like,
we only
I
need
really tried to in the Shadow game. I really went overboard with like trying to consider every single thing I might want to make in the like.
I don't necessarily think that's a bad thing though, because you got to try them out and you found the ones I assume that are fun. Like
Well,
Uh, you know.
yeah, but like there's the honestly most at the very end of the game, most of the stuff that is the best mechanics and the best in my opinion the best puzzles are like it was just something I had never it was something I had never even considered until I was way deep into design, and so I just made a very special version of one thing to make that one puzzle. I'm not saying we should do that here. I'm just saying I did a whole bunch of work I didn't need to do.
Yeah, and that's fine. That's a lot of game development. You throw out the majority of the work you do. I feel like
Yeah,
that's
you
just
that
game
that is true.
development.
You should be, but I'm just saying like as long as it can the quick thing is iteration, getting it in and testing it quickly like so that we can like so that we know if we even need to do more work. Because yes, there is a certain amount of iterative work, but like if it's not informed by you having designed something and then played it and said that's fun or that's not fun or that's interesting or that's not interesting, if it's just all theoretical, it can go overboard, and I absolutely did with the shadow game in the beginning.
Yeah, I mean that's not a problem. I mean, I think the paradigm that we or like the workflow we discussed where like this is stuff you could easily test out the door, the platform, the elevator, right, and program that yourself and get that and do all that other stuff. Like where but and then we should have these types of conversations regularly so that we're both on the same page about like this kind of stuff. But in the end, when it comes over, like okay, so now I know when it comes over, like now we're on the same design page. So when you're done designing your what you want to do with elevator, platform, door, or whatever, or however many parable types of things you want to do, then when that comes over, I know when I refactor that we just need it to be everything can just reference the moving platform.
Well,
They don't need to
the
reference
thing
iPower.
that everything with the elevator platform and door is like straightforward and easy. I don't need to I don't
That's
need to
already in. Yeah.
program much else with that. The one thing that I was saving to program myself, I will tell you if you promise not to do it yourself because I want to do it.
I won't do
All
it
right,
myself.
so it is,
I mean, I'll
the
like I said,
idea
I'll refactor
was
it when it comes over, but I will not do it. Take it
the
from
idea is to make a generate a 2D maze. um
Mm,
like a absolutely 2D maze, put it in the exact same format as your drawings, right? And then make it
mm,
so that make a script to turn it into a 3D maze and make it a procedural maze so it's different every time and that it can be huge, and make a thing that is it's a maze where when you walk in there's a procedurally generated thing on the wall, and every time you walk out it changes, and you have to, when you walk back in each time, the maze is drawn on the wall, like the literal maze itself, like the map of it, and then you draw on the picture of it, and it draws
mm.
that line on the floor of the maze for you to follow.
That's cool.
That was the thing that I was saving to do for myself, because I'm 100% sure that that's one of those things where if I don't design it myself, I'm not gonna know what I would have liked about what I would have liked, what I would have changed. Like
Yeah,
it's
that's fine. I'm not here to steal any mechanics from
I'm
you.
not
If you
saying
have an
steal.
idea, yeah,
If you want to, like, there's no reason
yeah,
you can't do it. I just also, I just know that that that's gonna change soon since you're working actually. But like, if you get to something before me and it's done, I just won't do it.
yeah.
It's just the
I
fact
mean,
that
that's the type of thing though that I would like if it's your idea and you're excited about it, I wouldn't touch anyway. I only touch the things that I like. Really, I generally only touch things when I'm getting you ready to use them with my things. Um, so like really, and as long as it stays in your branch before it ever like until you're done with it, then I'll never mess with it. Basically. So like I think that's we just have to do it that way, right? Just keep the things that you really want to work on and still are iterating on in your branch until
yeah.
until you're they're ready to come to the game, and then like then I know I can play around with them too. And when I come to play around with them because I'm the one that's designed most of the systems, right? Then I can get them to work with the rest of the systems because I'm trying to keep things working well together. Um,
Yeah, that sounds
Not
good.
not I haven't designed most of the systems, but I've let's say redesigned most of the systems to work together.
Yeah,
Um,
it's yeah, that sounds good to me.
Alright. Alright, so yeah, this will work. If you can think of other things, we can go this route. But for now, I think everything can just make a direct reference to a movable, and that should be really easy to refactor anyway, because they're all going to reference one class, which is movable platform. So easy enough to do. Um,
I forget, does the current, so the wait time on the current moving platform script, it is the wait time of each stop position. Like it's the same time, like when it stops at the end, it waits that much. And when it's at the start, it also waits that much before it goes.
yeah, it's the time between once it reaches a goal, the start or the end, it will wait 1 second.
Yeah, I can make this room with it like that, but ultimately, yeah, I do think ultimately this should be like it should really start here, and then as soon as you draw something on it, it moves into position. But it's fine. Oh, and the other thing was the other like for these group of puzzles that I want to work on because I think they're good early puzzles is like even when I do get this thing drawn on here, oh, I forgot I took off the what was it called again? Rideable
Object writable, yeah. And that's that could change too. That's actually me just playing around. Basically, that's me messing around with with not parenting and doing the thing I talked about with the transforms, basically, where I'm using the transformation matrix to move things. Um,
but basically, once I get the attract rune drawn on there, I do, it's supposed to break once I hit it, but the way the puzzle should work is I go into the attract rune field and then I don't touch it so it doesn't break. But currently, the where the rune sucks me to is like too low to where I am actually touching it. So I had put in a high priority thing where if we could, if we could set where that suck you to point is based on the size of the rune or something like that, so that
mm,
I could set the size of the platform to be, you'd have to draw it big enough to put you high enough off the ground, or just have it be a static. It's always this much off the ground that you get sucked from the center point. Doesn't matter, either one's fine.
all right. Well, I will. Yeah, I'll probably get back to doing this tomorrow. Get back to fixing things. So platforms should be pretty easy to do. Adding that stuff in. I want to add. I'm trying to add the UI menus as part of the journal, so I'm working on getting the journal back in, and I want them to be just pages on the journal. I think that'd be a cool effect. Um,
Wait, sorry, what was that about the journal?
I want the journal to also be like the main menu, all the menus. So like you if you wanted to like change the volume, then you'd go and you open up your journal and there'd be a volume slider there for you to mess with. But I want it to be like a texture, the slider to be a texture on the page. Um, I thought that would look cool.
Yeah,
I don't know if you want to. Yeah, I
that
could
that
draw it. You
that,
get the idea. It's just
that would be
like
rad.
here's our book and there's a
Did
line through here and then you know there's
did
like here's the slider. Yeah, I don't know. But yeah, it's literally on the page
I feel like
and
it
maybe
should be,
even
yeah,
like you
like,
just draw a line and
yes,
it'll automatically
exactly.
adjust
Yep.
to the line.
Yes, totally.
I thought about
Absolutely.
that too, but I'm also trying to think about it in terms of ease of use. So like, yeah,
I don't think that's
I
hard
think
to use at all. I think that's actually
yeah,
like better than a normal slider, like because you don't have to
you
click and
draw a
grab,
line.
right? You
Yeah,
just
just draw a
mark.
line and it'll do it. That'd be cool. And then like for things with multiple object options, it might be cool where you just circle the option that you want.
Yeah.
Um, Stuff like that. So I want the menus and everything to be diegetically in the book, um, which would be cool.
Did you see my ramblings on? I was. This is a late game, not real current conversation of topic, but did you see I pasted like I was thinking. what if there are multiple books and that's the
I saw
school's?
like some of that, yeah, where it looks like you're classifying each of the rune types into a book, like sort of like this is how it reminded me of Avatar, the Last Airbender,
Oh God, let's not do
like
it then.
how it's. You don't like that show? I think that's just great.
Oh, The Last Airbender.
Um,
Sorry, I thought you were saying Avatar the movie, the James Cameron movies.
no, no, no. The Last Airbender
I've
anime,
I have not watched
um,
it. I have
not
tried a
anime.
couple times, but I haven't given it a fair shot yet.
That's fun. But anyway, they organize their each season into books that named books that focuses on like this season's the Book of Wind where he learns, well, I guess not, like the Book of Water where he learns all to do all his water air, like water bending and stuff.
But like beyond
Anyway.
it being like a just like a like a lore conceit, like where it's all split into like, okay, so like all the movement stuff is all in the Book of the Void, and all of the form based stuff like duplicate and combine and slice if we do it, and size, that's in the Book of
Mhm.
Semblances, and the Book of the Observer is like track, invisible, the eyeball one, light, and the beacon if we do the beacon. Um, and then I like the weird one is like the Book of Symmetry, which is portal, my version of the portal, the exit, mirror, clone, swap, and I actually thought dupe could be put in there and combine could be put in the other one. But anyway, it's they're in these schools, right? And maybe they could all have a color or a symbol, and that's those are on your tattoos. And when you're in a puzzle room, the symbols that are showing are the school that you're allowed to use from, and then the rings on your arm are the number of runes that you can put down, and maybe the rings disappear rather than appear. But
That could be cool. I was thinking that there could be a game where like yeah we literally have like 20 different runes and like you don't need all to know all of them to beat the game, but it could be cool to be like wait there were more, like when you finish the game.
yes, I think that
Um,
I'm hoping that's the case. Like I'm hoping that I was also thinking like, but how would we do it that way? Because like if it's an open world game and yada yada yada, that like it almost necessitates some level of, which we did say we would want to do, of like you have to have this rune to get here to even do this puzzle, right? You have to have shown known this rune to.
yeah, I want there to be rune dungeons, yeah, for sure. And
Yeah.
if we classify them more broadly as book dungeons, then maybe or I don't know exactly how to do it, but I want it to be overworld where almost Zelda style, right? Where there are dungeons in Zelda that you literally can't get to unless you have the specific item, right,
Yeah.
to open up the pathway. So like rune dungeons where yeah you have to draw the eyeball symbol, and maybe it's as simple as like there is a like it's really hard to do this without it, but maybe you still could do it just so that you could prove you could do it. But like, without the invis rune, right? Let's just say, then there are watchers that will fucking
Kill you.
destroy you.
Yeah.
Yeah, but maybe you could like set up a system of repels to repel you fast enough to get through without being killed
Yeah,
or
hell
something.
yes. I want tons of
Right.
stuff like that in the overworld.
Yeah, but like yeah, and then that gets you into the invis rune dungeon or something,
But
and
the
yeah.
splitting of it into the books was really more of a puzzle room conceit, because like I think the puzzle rooms will be best if it's like, okay, I have three runes here. I can use Book of Semblances and I can use Book of the Void. So I can use force-based stuff and I can use form-based stuff. How can I
Mhm.
do this room with only three of those types of runes? Oh, if I do two of this type, I can use two forces here, and then I can make the thing small and then have it fit through here. Whatever, that kind of shit.
Mhm.
I just think the puzzles will be better that way if they're limited. If we and in the overworld you can do whatever you want, right? But just like in the shrines in Zelda, sometimes it's just like, nope, you can't do this. You can't climb walls. You can't use your you can't use God Hand in here. You or not that God Hand, they do let you use God Hand, but like you can't what's a good one? What wouldn't they let me use in the? Oh, they wouldn't let me take out my Zonai devices in some of the dungeons. So like
Mhm.
that kind of thing where it's just like, yeah, you can do all this stuff in the overworld, but here this is a puzzle.
Yeah, we could
Like
definitely make dungeons designed that way so that we can make more. more like clever puzzles, I guess, where that have actual intended more clever solutions instead of just a sometimes because I think it's also just completely valid too to just make puzzles with no real intended quote unquote solution, as long as we know that they can be done multiple ways,
Right.
you know.
In my head though, I picture those as those are the overworld puzzles.
Yeah, exactly. Yeah,
Those are the puzzles where like whatever you can do to do this, if you can do it, go great. Uh, yeah.
yeah, I think it makes sense. All right, so on the list, probably top on the list is I'll get the platforms done. UI menus do need to come, but they're not as important. But I just want to get them in because I thought they would be a good addition. I definitely want to get them in before the playtest in January, which I assume you'll still be going to if you're cool with that. Otherwise, I can. I plan on going to Kansas City one too. So
Yeah,
uh,
I was thinking it might be also fun if you join their global game jam site in Kansas City, and then
yeah, I'm gonna go there
we
for
could
sure. I already have it planned.
like global game jam is in January, so if you're all settled in and if you look it up in cities, sometimes there's multiple sites, not so much in Philly,
Yeah,
but there's just one. But like then I thought it would be fun if we like did a thing where like you know, we could stream and you show from your group so the games that people made, and I could show the Philly game mechanics people, and we could stream it and be like, hey, and then throw it in the Discord and be like, hey, look, Kansas City versus Philly.
yeah. I am excited to see what people out there are making. Just get an idea of it. I tried to. They don't seem to like. I can't get in touch with them. I tried to like reach out to them through the website, and they just haven't gotten back to me. I just wanted to join their Discord so I can get an idea of what people are making out there and stuff. But I can't seem to get in touch with anyone over there.
I think if I wait, so you said you tried their Discord?
I tried. I can't get their Discord address. Like so, like I just went on their on the IGDA website and was like, hey, they have a contact form, and I used the contact form to try to reach out to them, but they didn't answer. Uh,
Got it.
so. I think I'm just gonna have to show up on what their posted meetup information is.
Yeah, I'm sure they won't mind.
It's gonna be nice being fucking close to this though. Like based on where I live, it'll only be like 10 minutes away now.
Did you find the place already?
Not necessarily, but we know where we're gonna be looking. We're
Gotcha.
gonna Airbnb there first, just because we don't want to sign a place without seeing it.
The what was I gonna say? Also, if you just want to see I thought about if you just want to see how the playtests and stuff are going, if there was a way I could set up a or maybe just use my phone and stream and just be like, hey, is everyone cool with me streaming my perspective of this meeting to my Twitch channel so that Marcus can
Can
the
watch. Yeah,
the
that'd be cool.
oh, also Kanan was saying cuz I thought he told you about the whole indie fund thing, the whole thing where like you can get, you know, they'll
No, I told you, or I had looked that up myself.
he was like share that because I thought he told it to you, and I was like, yeah, he's maybe trying to like looking into getting this indie fund stuff that you had told him about. He's like, wait, I didn't tell him about that. And he's like, what is it? And then he was like, you know, when I told him, he was like, you guys should definitely he's like, you should get that information about that from him and share with the class because that sounds like a really good resource.
Yeah, it was just let me see if I can find it. I'll send it to you now. Indie fund. Like, I mean, I don't know how practical it is, but it was just. It might literally just be called Indie Fund. Here you go.
Right on. I will share that with him.
There. So it's just like a conglomerate of people that I love, like indie games that get together and you know.
Right on. I'm sure he
and you
will
can
very,
apply.
very much appreciate that. The last meeting went good. I didn't really share anything, but I played a lot of it. I played everybody's games except for two people. Um,
Cool.
and I found a guy for next 2D game that we do. He's a who I love his pixel art style. And he made a game that's like Celeste if you were a fish, is how it was described to me, and it is exactly that, and it was really, really good. He made
That's
it for
neat.
a game jam. He also made a game that was for another game jam that he showed me that was like Snake, except it's like a tile-based Snake, so you move along tile by tile, and there are enemies shooting at you as you get bigger, and if they shoot you in the head, you pop out of this snake, and the snake's like a little mecha, and you're like this little crocodile dude running around on your snake, which is now like a platform. So you get hit,
That's
and the
kind of
snake
neat.
it was neat. I liked it, but the fish game was really, really well polished
Like
uh,
a
uh
indie.
yeah, for something they did in like 2 or 3 days. It was really, really good. Um, who else is? What else did I see? The guy who did Super Run Man came in with 2 new games that he's releasing. Um,
Crazy.
that
Sometimes I think people develop by bulk. Not to say that there's nothing good, like they're not good games, but like, holy crap, how can you possibly be doing that much?
well, I mean they're score-based indie fun indie games, but I really, really liked the vibe of it. It was like an iPad game where you're a little spaceship, and the spaceship follows your finger, but it kind of like lerps to your finger, like it doesn't follow at like a constant speed all the time. Although it, most of the times it does. It gets to its max speed pretty fast. But and it's just like you leading this thing around. It actually kind of burns your finger after a while because it gets to be a very intense game. But then it's like very flashy and explosive, and the like style of it is very juicy, and the the while you're playing it, it pops up like good advice for your life. So it's like call your mom, do this, yada yada, and the it's yeah. So he's releasing that one, and the other one is a game that is teddy bear football, and you draw out your routes for each character, while like separate from your opponent, and then just see it play out, which was a neat idea.
That's neat.
Um, it's but that guy, that guy's been using GameMaker for 14 years or something, like since it's
Holy crap.
been invented. So he is very fast at iterating and prototyping. I'm actually very interested to do a game with him at some point. I am schmoozing him as much as possible, because I really, really like his style. All right, let's see if this.
the bathroom real quick, and then I might play some Baldur's Gate if people are around too. I don't know if people wanted to play games tonight, but
I'm down to play Baldur's Gate.
I saw Dave was saying, it looks like Dave put something in your chat saying that shorter jump would encourage people to use the runes to get around more in the overworld, which is correct.
Yeah, that's true. And you could use them as much of them as you want, but there's still just doing the this first room that I did with the tracked stairs. Like like just how closely just a longer jump just like I feel like works. Oh shit, one of those flew off. I'm not sure why. Um like just jumping to these things. Like this is how the length of the jump right now is about as far as I want you to be able to jump, but I do also think
Oh, you know the simple rune classifiers in, right? So if you go to the drawing, hopefully you have it updated, or you have
I probably
the
haven't.
prefab.
I don't know if I fetched.
But you, there are simple symbols now. You can just do the simple symbols.
Oh, I do. I
Uh,
am up to date apparently.
pull in the check the. Do you have the drawing prefab on your like is your drawing prefab? Yeah, it is. So it should automatically have updated. So click on drawing
Okay.
and then draw controller. Sorry, I'm still behind. So you're clicking draw controller now. And then where is it? Where is it? Is it not in there? Give me a second. Let me open it up mine. It should just be called something like you. Oh wait. Where's the thing that has? I can't see it, but there should be something that shows. It's actually on the classifier, I think, which is still on the draw controller, but
Classifier camera.
not the camera. But is there something that says? Um, oh, it's sorry. It is a settings object. So on that, see that I need to make a menu option to get there. But you see on that classifier camera, there's classifier settings. If you double click that, it'll open the settings for it, or bring you to the settings where you can open them up. Because I'm
Classifier
an idiot
settings.
and need to make a menu item for that.
Where is the classifier settings on the classifier camera?
So go to drawing. I'm opening it up now too. Draw controller.
Okay. Oh, rune settings wrapper. Is that it? Oh, you could turn on the stream and type into my chat. I have it up now. Go to draw controller classifier, draw controller classifier. In there is a variable called classifier settings in the script. How do you open from here again? Restart the scene, meaning like reload in. Okay. Okay. When I'm double clicking this is all that's happening, Marcus. Not sure why. Am I supposed to be in draw? Alright, I'm in here. Boolean for use simple model. I'm having trouble following. I don't think I'm in the right thing. Drawing. Draw controller. Classifier. Classifier is its own. Oh, I see what you're saying. It's okay. Variable called classifier settings. No, I don't see what you're saying actually. I'm not sure what you mean by go to draw controller classifier then. Here's the draw controller. Here's the classifier, I guess. You're saying, you said double click this, right? Okay, clicking the draw controller. Like that. Oh, sorry. I thought you meant draw controller classifier. Okay. Classifier settings. Okay. Damn. Seems really small for how. Are they the same? No, this one's bigger. Regardless, what I was saying to Dave was, I meant to be saying to Dave, even though he's probably not here anymore, is like, this length of jump is a good length of jump. This is, we do need to figure out how to get more air control in, because it is hard currently, but like, I might just put it too high actually. Did it just tell me it wanted me to draw the X in 1? Thought it blinked once there. Being able to jump about that far seems right to me. Oh shit. Also, I always slide off the boxes. Or like... Ah, I see. But like, yeah, so that jump feels about right to me. It's just that like... that distance that I feel like you should be able to jump becomes hard to draw at for things that are on the same level as your feet are. And that's just a fact of the physical world of the game that we can't really change. Marcus, the way the controller is, the movement controller is right now, is there a way to just make, basically, I want this same jump distance, but I want two things to happen. A, I want you to get up to the max speed to get to that jump distance very quickly, and B, I want you to have really good air control, so that basically almost anywhere you jump, if you're running, you can reach about that far in either direction, so you have a nice radius and you have a really good like ability to control yourself where you want to land in that radius, like, because otherwise these kind of jumping things are hard. Also, maybe a little more height on the look, I made this little crack just so just so. Oh shit, I must have moved something. It was just so before where nothing would ever fall down it. Except the player if he was being stupid. I'll have to move that a little closer again. There should also be, I should have said this too, if maybe I put this in there already, but like the boxes when they die should just pop. I'm trying to make a pop noise, but I'm failing. Pop back right here. And now I'm disconnected off Steam too, shit. Am I even still streaming? Oh shit, did I not save this room again? God damn it, I didn't. I keep doing that. Oh yeah, simple. Simple, what is this in simple? Line, just a line. God, I kind of like simple. The more I think about it, I know the runes look awesome, but sometimes I really think, like, simpler one-line runes might be the way to go in the end. Perfect. Perfect, perfect, perfect. Oh, right on. I'll go get some in a bit. Thank you. Alright, step 1 of puzzle. We don't need to put the breaking part on yet. Some food though. I got the key. Come back. And the next puzzle will be like, there's 2 of these. Now how do you do that? That wouldn't be possible, actually. Alright. Bin. Oh, also here's another thing I should add to that. Is you know, that not big enough for me. Not sure what happened there. What am I hitting? I'm like running into something. Oh wait, is there a invisible box right here? There is, isn't there? I'm stuck to this thing. What happened? I do think that they should turn off as they move. For now. If we can get everything working together, sure. But what was the two things? Should turn off when they move. Option to turn them off when the thing is moving. And I can't remember what the other thing was. It was more important. Oh well. Take a break. Hollow.
Hello.
Uh-oh.
You guys trying to play something?
Yeah.
What do y'all want to play?
If Dave shows up, I'd be down. Did people install the Baldur's Gate patch? If not, we can always play more Lethal Company. I do enjoy that game.
Did install the Baldur's Gate.
I did not, but I can do it. Well, actually, it's done. I've not heard Dave say anything though. Keeps saying he's playing Inscription.
I don't know. He said he'd be around before I was talking to him in IRL, but that was a while ago. Yeah, I'll text him.
One of the games the Indie Fund backed was Migakure. What happens if you get backed and your game never comes out? I've been waiting for Migakure to come out for literally 8 years at this point. Also, what the fuck about UFO 50? Is that still being made?
I heard anything about that game.
Like 2 years ago, I saw a tweet from Derek Wu, and he was like, "Yep, it's still being made. We're just taking our time. Sorry." Still has a Steam page. Sorry, Derek Yu, not Wu. Game design. UFO 50 is still 11 months ago. Alright, as early as December 30th of last year, he has said it's still coming out.
I think I hear a Dave, or at least see a Dave on Discord.
Did anyone ever play Antichamber? I had forgot that game existed until Viewfinder came out this year and people were struggling with what to compare it to.
Is that the one
Antichamber?
where like it's like
Oh, yeah.
the non-Euclidean spaces?
Yeah.
Yeah.
You just beat the front game of Inscription.
What kind of deck did you run?
I don't know, it's hard. Well, I won with I don't know, some random crap. It's hard to like keep a strategy every time.
Yeah. Alright, what are we playing? Wanna play Baldur's Gate?
I guess Baldur's Gate.
I'm down if everyone's ready. Don't join my thing yet, because I...
Oh, did I download that?
It literally took me not even 10 seconds to download whatever it was.
Update queued. Well, we'll see. Pretty fast.
Is it not that big or is my internet just that awesome?
This one.
I mean,
Where is it?
it was like 28 gigs or something.
I thought mine said 44 something, so maybe it wasn't the full thing that you're... Maybe I already downloaded the thing.
I already did the big one. Yeah, that was. This one was this. 2 seconds. This game has native support for Steam input.
Alright, let me find my controller.
All right, switch over to the good old other
Where are we in this game? I can't even remember. It's been so long.
We just did the fight where the dragon ran.
Oh yeah, I remember that.
Are we going to an area where there will be hard fights again? I miss there being hard fights.
The Larry launcher.
Oh yeah, we're going through we were going through a mountain or a cave, and we were going the opposite of the way that you went in your playthrough, so you didn't know.
There's a new mode in the game, honor mode, where if it's a permadeath mode, and it has it incorporated legendary actions into the boss fights, which sounds cool. But that's the hardest mode, but it's not obviously gonna be in. Or we can't switch to it mid game. You have to like.
I don't even know if I'd want to in a game where fights take as long as they do in this. Although I
mean,
would
if
try it
you,
at least
if it's
once.
one person, obviously it's way faster.
Well, let me.
If we beat the game and wanted to go back and do it and make like okay, we're gonna do this, but everybody like rush through your rush through your moves until we're I'll probably actually want to do the opposite then and do the rush through your moves in the regular playthrough.
I'm down to speed up turns. I mean, I know what I'm doing though. You guys only get to play once.
You in now, Mark?
A couple weeks. I'm loading in. I'll let you know when it's all the way in. So it's a lot harder for you guys to like rush your moves because I played fucking 400 or something hours of this by now. I'm sure. I don't know how many hours I have at this game, but it's a lot.
Let me check. Yep.
Did you say 400 hours you've played of this game? That's insane.
I bet you have played at least 300.
That's crazy. I can't imagine playing.
No, you're not even close, Marcus. You have 195.
Oh God.
That's still a lot.
A lot.
That's manageable though. Like I would say like the best game I've ever, game I'd
You
even
probably
ever.
have 800 hours at least in Hunt.
Yeah, well that's different. Multiplayer stuff is different. But like a single player, playing anything single player for anything over 80 hours is like unfathomable to me. Even Breath of the Wild, which I absolutely love and could probably stand to spend that much time there, even then I wouldn't want to for risk of like ruining it for myself.
Started
I
playing
don't.
Tears of the Kingdom again.
I dislike the game. I like the world, and there's so much to it.
Tears of the
There's
Kingdom?
So much game. No, I'm talking
Or
about
Breath of the Wild.
this game, Baldur's Gate.
Oh,
do
you say
not,
I just like the game. I thought you said I dislike the game.
No,
I would give this game Game of the Year over Tears of the Kingdom, though. I can tell already. Even though I do fucking love me Breath of the Wild and Tears of the Kingdom, it is just Breath of the Wild with more stuff and a different world. Like it's not new enough, I don't think, to like.
It's got Banjo-Kazooie nuts and bolts in it.
Yeah,
And also,
yeah. I won't spoil anything,
About
but
that
you know how I
game.
feel about the game. Tears of the Kingdom was a massive disappointment for me. The Banjo.
Really? I've gotten to the
Kazooie-
point where even the Banjo-Kazooie stuff I've kind of gotten over, and I'm just like, here, let me wedge this thing here to get it done.
That's the problem. Like, it's not fun.
But it's still
Like, and
Breath of
there's
the Wild,
so
though.
much of that.
It's still Breath of the Wild, you know?
Yeah, but I played Breath of the Wild, and I wasn't ready. I
Yeah,
think
it's
for
been a while for me, so
just another Breath of the Wild. I think I needed more time. And like having so much of your patterns be about the buildings, like, or really, like, just the building stuff not being free enough was such a bummer. I just hated
like having
that.
to go to a dispenser to get a certain fucking.
Not even that,
Gun
but like
IPs.
having literally building something, and they're like, "Oh, this will break it, so we're gonna make it so it breaks apart after."
I don't mind that, but the biggest flaw in
thing
that
where you
game.
Fly too far.
Yeah, like fuck you. I put all this time, and I get that they have an auto builder thing, but still, like I want to build a thing and use it and be able to keep fucking using it. And like,
Yeah,
okay, the
I
battery
agree with
power
that.
Stuff is fine, but like the flying stuff doesn't, like, you don't always need battery power to
That
fly.
goes against
It'll
the Breath
just
of the
fucking
Wild
destroy
philosophy,
it.
though.
No, I think
Yeah,
so.
I hate it.
It really I don't think it does. Like I that's what I thought. Like oh they're trying to do something with weapons with this, but I don't think
I'm in, by the way. You guys can jump in.
that like that doesn't hold up for the building stuff. Like the biggest flaw in the game is absolutely that you cannot save a thing that you've made. You can't.
You can save it. Yeah.
Oh, is there
Yeah,
something you find that allows you to do that eventually?
I haven't found it, but I heard of it. Yeah.
Oh,
It's
okay.
sorry, I thought it's pretty standard. But like
Shit. Okay, well
no,
that's
the fucking, but no, I don't know. Maybe we have very very different gameplay taste. But I fucking hate like I made a cool fucking car plane. Awesome. Like I can drive and like and then it'll start taking off. That feels so cool. Oh, but then I only got to play with it for literally a minute because it broke. Because even when you're on the ground, that counts as fly time. Like go fuck yourself. That sucked.
I like there being
I-
limit. I'm fine.
I
I'm
don't like
100%
it
fine
at
with there
all.
being limitations to with your thing. If you fly into something, I would hope that it breaks. I like.
No, he's not saying like if you crash it, that would be understandable.
No,
He's
that
saying,
yeah,
like, you just
crashing
can't.
it.
It's like you have
That's not it.
fuel.
You're saying the
It's
battery
not even
power.
fuel. It's like light. So if I fly the plane and I'm
Fuel,
just
like
flying the
duration
plane,
fuel.
it's just the wings will break just over time. They just flash away. Like it starts flashing like as a health bar and starts flashing faster and faster, and then it just disappears, and your whole vehicle falls apart. Or anything that was attached to it, and it's not because I crashed it. It's not because of anything. It's just except for the fact that they don't want you to fly across the map, so they made this arbitrary rule where the wings will just break. Like that's the only thing. And like I was like, okay, I could maybe get over that. Like if I could get over that if it was like, okay, then the wings will just drop after a point in time. But no, it literally destroys your fucking vehicle. And then like, okay, I was like, well, what if I put it on a car and I'm not in the air? Is it only fly time? Like, I'll drive around on the car, and then when I really want to take off, I'll hit some boosters and really take off, and fly when I want to. But no, even just driving around in the car, it's just as long as it's moving, it's ticking down on the timeline, and I'm like, well, that just completely ruined so much of this game
Oh,
for me.
Marcus, did you respec in this?
I did. I'm a
Sorry, I was
cleric
looking at
now.
you. Do you want this plate? Can you take? Oh, it's medium armor. It's
I'm
half
wearing.
plate.
I
Half
think I
plate.
should be
15.
heavy armor now, well,
Let's
medium
see.
armor. I have medium armor on. I don't remember if I can do heavy armor. Let me see.
Oh, I found boots of athletics.
This is medium armor, actually.
Yeah.
It's 15 armor class only, though. So.
I already have 15 armor class on. Yeah.
Boots of athletics might be best on me.
I got a weird thing.
Oh.
Sounds like
Whoever's pushing stuff. Yeah. The Dave, I want you to try shooting one of these things over here.
Hold on,
How do I ping again in this
I
game?
give myself guidance here. I'm checking out this amulet. I found an amulet, a special amulet on a dude. To the Breath of the Wild philosophy, though, of like things don't last.
I get it. It's
I don't
just
like
never-
I do. I like that ability. Like the concept, the philosophy is good. I don't like the implementation. I'd rather it like if I die, I lose everything I have, like that kind of thing.
Yeah, I think I would actually be more okay with that too. Dave, zap this fucking thing, and I want to see if you can, with your Eldritch Blast, knock these away. Who are you talking to? You're in a
This
conversation.
amulet. Giving it an arcane. This is
That
a
thing is
huge
fucking huge.
amulet. I know. This is Flavor Flav's amulet.
I don't think I found this in my playthrough.
You wouldn't have, because you can go here.
I feel like I've already gotten more information than I wanted, but if you put a you know some sort of thruster on one of those wing things that you can find up in the tutorial area, that thing will break even too.
Sorry, say it again, Chris. I was listening to the thing.
If you get one of those wing things that floats like forever, and put a rocket on that,
like the wings, they look like wings.
It looks
They
like
look
a
like a bird.
It looks like a bird.
Yeah, that breaks. The bird breaks. Oh, as long as it's moving for a certain amount of time, the bird will break. Dave, shoot this. with your Eldritch Blast.
Ping it again. I gotta spin my camera towards. Okay. Something over here. What am I shooting exactly? What is
Anything
it?
on the ground. Remember, we wanted to see if you could, if I could make someone drop something, if you could Eldritch Blast it away.
Oh, okay, I got you. Eldritch Blast. Where are you? What do you look like again? Yep.
Yeah. Okay. Yeah. It doesn't go far, but yeah,
That's pretty far.
it's far. But like, I feel like a
Started
Hero
where the
flies
other
way
tunic
further.
was, but it started
Yeah.
like where the started like right here.
Yeah, that's pretty far. You could, so theoretically, you could, we could
Blast
make
off
someone
a
drop
cliff, though.
something. Chris,
Blast
if
off a
you
cliff.
should get a heat metal spell as a druid.
I have
I
heat
wish I
metal.
had Paul. Oh wait, hold on. Can we leash it? I have Thorn Whip, right?
Also, Jeff, come here. I'm gonna heal us all.
I forget
Yeah.
all the buttons in this.
Oh, you play on a controller. I just always hit the icons and everything, pretty much.
I'm ready to head out. You guys ready? I think we were just about to head to the.
The amulet map told us that they're hunting for our polyhedron or something. There's a search party out for it, something like that.
Yeah, I think we had that
Information already.
information through someone else. Dave, you're over encumbered, by the way.
What does that mean? I walk slow.
You have too much shit in your pack. Yeah, you
I know
walk
what it
slow.
means, but what are the results?
No, Dave, we're carrying too much. who didn't say yes? Also.
I've played video games before. Are we cool doing that? What does this mean?
Yeah, we're moving on to the next area. We did this area. That was like basically the next thing we had to do.
This is the next like chapter. This is Act 2.
Not yet. This is pre-Act 2.
The only thing I want to do
believe.
before moving on to Act 2 is try and steal that totem from the druid village. I'm perfectly fine with moving on to Act 2.
Also, I think I saw that you can like I was able to go back after Act 2. Like Act 1 stuff was still there. I think just some quests would close off. So like you can still do some stuff if you want to go back into the areas, which is a nice touch. They didn't do it that way before with the old ones. See, over here the sun is setting.
Time of day changes. Is it like what's the timeline of the game? Does it take? Well, I guess maybe.
I think it only takes. Well, I guess it takes as long as your long rests, but and long resting stuff does
true.
matter for some quests.
I guess that doesn't really matter for this game.
It matters for quest lines. Once you trigger a thing, timeline matters.
Okay, that's cool.
Yeah.
Found a cave.
Yeah, you can go do whatever.
Let's go in the cave.
I have.
Oh wait, this is to the goblin camp, so that goes back,
this
right?
area in the past,
Oh, you did go back?
I've done a different character.
We
I haven't beaten the game yet, but before I beat the game, because I heard Act 3 was getting more content, I switched off to.
This literally says back to goblin camp, so that's backwards, right?
Yeah, this is backwards.
Close enough.
There's like another way we could have gotten here. We could have gotten here from like the very beginning if we wanted to.
I forget, do you have to touch these things to activate them, or are they just active all the time?
As soon as you reveal them on the map, they're active.
Oh, how do I'm gonna send you guys some shit.
There's a bunch of
Send us to
dead
Send us to
guys
camp
over
if you want,
here.
or drop it. We don't
I
need
bet
it.
Chris fucking made me over encumbered. Anyway.
If anything, I made you lighter. I was stealing from you a fair amount throughout this game. Except for I have been sending you guys a fair amount of explosives.
I think
and
I
stuff
locked
last time, though.
my inventory down, so you can't send me stuff. I don't remember. Let me check. Yeah, my inventory is locked.
Look, that's where we're going. I bet. Look at that. Look at that monastery or whatever that is over there.
Do we have a shop we can sell at in our camp?
I think
Yeah.
is what's his face still there? I think the guy that took Dave's eye might still be there. I forget his name already.
Oh,
somebody else has to do that.
I'm rolling to use this thing. Oh, I failed
I'm
miserably.
strong now. Hold on, I'm very strong now. Oh, not strong enough though. I rolled very poorly.
So do we have to go another way now that we failed?
Does it show my
We could. Someone else could try to pull it.
Yeah, somebody try to pull this thing. Can we jump over here?
Next time's the charm.
Not enough space, invalid target.
Hey, I can see invisible. Yeah, that's awesome. What is my... Oh, it must be up here. Go... No. Where's my weight, Marcus? Or should I say my... Oh, here it is, at the bottom. Okay.
Yeah.
The bar. Alright. I'm probably good now.
Step carefully. There's a trap.
Oh,
There's traps this way? I'm sure there's one here too, since I got a perception roll fail. That's so
go.
funny, like there's a trap here, and then I just get a perception roll and I fail, but I know what it fucking is, right?
You just don't know where it is. Ooh, these traps are gonna try and knock you off into the fucking world. Careful, Jeff.
What bird?
These traps are like designed to are knockback traps. They're trying to kill you. Which is why I had to be a cleric so I could res everybody.
Here, hold on, I gotta turn into a animal so I can talk to this bird.
Aha, the weakling Dave pulled this thing.
Oh, congratulations. We're on our way down another way.
Do you think this
look at
bird
it go!
freaks out if
Dave will
I'm a
meet us.
cat?
I've got nothing left to take, so you might as well shove off.
Oh, there's a puppy in here? I didn't notice.
Maybe I wouldn't be so little if I had a proper dinner and enlist.
Hey, nerds.
Hey,
I hear you over me. I just can't see you.
that's up on the roof with the eagles. Eagles are pricks.
Here, let's kill the eagles and give this bluebird his nest back.
Ooh, there's a bunch of cool shit over here.
Some poor little tit.
In a way that makes me think, like, is this a trap? Oh, let's just run right into the trap.
Yeah, I'm running towards you. I don't remember too much about the area.
Bird ethics. You should be proud. It's not even like the eagles need mine.
Oh, that's good for you, right? Arcane Cultivation, you can get another spell slot. Are your spell slots, Dave, technically level 1, but they always are cast at the highest level, or are they like
These
level up
slots
to the
are
high-
only the max level, yeah.
I wonder
any
what
spell
happens
could be
when you use
cast at any
that thing
level.
then.
Or a higher level.
I wonder what happens when you use one of those elixirs of Arcane Cultivation, which is normally give you like a level 1 spell slot or whatever.
Like forever?
No, just for a long rest or whatever. It's just one level. It's not.
Damn, I'm not rolling well
Good
today.
morning, Lathander. I suppose all mornings for you
Oh
are
shit,
good.
do we share inspiration? Sorry if we do.
It's not a big deal, honestly.
I have
We
two
get
new
inspiration pretty
boys,
regularly.
Luke and Elliot. I'd like them to...
Alright, I'm trying one more time then. God damn, I'm just getting worse every roll. Alright, fuck it. I guess I'll never know what these lizards are.
Didn't show up much in your studies of the natural world.
Oops.
Please,
Damn it.
please kill the eagles. Thank you.
Chris has been talking to the Blue Jay.
Yeah, we gotta kill some eagles for him. Oh, it is a monastery. I was right. It's
Where-
funny,
where
you in
we
front of me
heading?
with you.
Oh.
Yeah, yeah, you have a dog, right? That's you.
The Druid Chris is fucking. I've been playing my solo campaign with a druid. Holy shit, are they strong! I also encountered some
Damien,
monks,
hope
and
your
they kicked my
evening's going
ass.
well.
So
You're a legend.
making it harder for you to choose which one to level up. But like, right now, I've not been a monk yet, but the druids seem super fucking strong. If you, especially the moon druid, because you get those extra transformations.
I think I'm a moon druid.
Ooh, Jeff, you took some damage.
Yeah.
Hold on. I will throw this at you because I have a lot of these. Smack.
Ah, my face.
I have another one. Hold on. Smack.
Blade Ward. I wanted to potentially get that on aggro, but I
Oh, I
can't.
missed.
because,
Wait, what is that? Oh, it's a potion of healing. Walk into it. There you go.
Neat.
What's going on over at this monastery?
you a cat, Chris?
I am a
You gotta
cat.
tell me if you're a cat. Oh,
I'm here. I am not a cat.
What? Somebody just appeared dead next to me.
Oh, I'm walking in.
might happen at
Corliss?
the end of this.
Corliss
Yeah,
is
yeah,
dead.
you might be like, because you're a cat, you might not be in this cutscene that Dave and I are in right now.
Oh, good to know. There's nothing we can do to save him. in this conversation.
Within the artifact, a feeling stirs.
Oh.
Uncertain.
Oh, they're the absolute worshippers.
Within my
though.
artifact, a feeling stirs.
Your curiosity is getting the better of you. Do not let it. Stay away from the Githyanki.
God.
They're hunting you. They want
Who are
the
these people?
artifact.
That they're bossing around?
At nothing.
They're followers of the absolute. It looks like that lady had an absolute amulet on her.
Oh boy.
That's the absolute.
I'm
Oh, Chris, did you walk in there?
I did.
Starting the
Awesome. We
cutscene?
can't get in. It's locked for us.
I'm
you
probably
snuck in 'cause
dead.
You're a cat.
I'm probably dead. They did not seem threatening at all to me, and then suddenly they just.
They found you. All right. Well, hold on. Let's see if we can break in.
A feeling stirs.
Jeff, you don't have knock, right? We've gone over this, I believe.
Within
No.
the artifact, a
Lockpicking is impossible.
Getting the better of you. Your curiosity is getting the better of you.
Chris, you just found a speed run.
Your curiosity is getting
Oh my
Yeah,
god,
cat.
something just keeps telling me my curiosity is getting
curiosity is
the
getting-
Yeah, I'm getting that too.
They're hunting you.
How can we get up here?
Yeah, they're hunting me.
Look.
They're hunting you.
Oh my god, what's happening?
The artifact.
Is this
Stop at nothing.
because I walked in with that fucking special dice or something?
You walked in with a special dice?
I don't I have
Our
some D&D polyhedron dice thing?
Oh no, that's just I think I mean that thing is talking to you,
What
but
is this?
Just sleep.
How do I look at you guys instead of taking my turn?
you can just double click on us. Yeah, I mean he is evil. Look, it's an automatic attack. Yeah, that means he's evil.
This motherfucker. Let's fuck
Oh,
this
let's
guy
read
up.
his thing. He's drunk. He's fire wine belly. Drunk on fire wine has disadvantage on charisma and dexterity check. If killed with fire, he explodes.
I'm going to die. Get in here.
Everybody step back.
We're working on it. Hold on.
Okay,
Go,
blink from
what
here.
about right here? You could probably blink in.
I can't blink because I don't have that anymore. Dave might be able to
There's
blink
my
in now.
blink. Oops.
Oh, he's not dead. Fuck.
Fuck happened?
Wait, what did just
I
happen?
tried to explode him, but he
We're
Oh,
in
they're enemy
combat
surprised
over here.
though. Ah, fucking, they don't look that surprised. Get him, Scratch. Okay, good job. Oh fuck no. Good job, Scratch.
Alright, where's
Took
my...
that reaction shot. Now Jeff can walk away. Actually, that's not the worst thing in the world. Chris, I might turn into something and just try to run to us somehow.
I was thinking of doing my monk run to get as far away as possible. Like I can get to right. How do you ping? Actually, you don't know on the controller.
Alt and oh yeah, I don't.
We don't even have. We have a far
I would
way
guess
to-
it's clicking one of the sticks. would
But
be
the
a
place
thing,
where
but-
Dave was thinking to like zap like
Yeah, I don't know if this is gonna get us in where Chris is up here.
No, it's not
Oh,
over
my
here.
God.
Oh well, right here. If you can blink into here, right? That's where Chris is.
Yeah, but I can't. There's no way.
Yeah.
Uh,
Also, we're Jeff and I are in a bit of a predicament too. I need to get in front so I can take some of that
Here, hold on.
damage.
I'm looking around to see where you might be able to get.
all right,
in.
should I start blasting these guys?
Yeah, maybe get. Or that one
I don't
is
know.
almost dead. You can blast this one.
I have two. I can do them both.
Yeah, this one. Yeah, just one shot him. He should die as long as and that thing's not fire damage, so it won't explode.
I
Fuck.
missed them both. What did I roll on those?
You can hover over it. You rolled a 2
Where does
and
it
a 5.
go up?
If you hover, so open up the chat log and then
Yeah.
hover over the mist.
Oh, okay. They talked after. I had to make this bigger.
Yeah.
So I couldn't see it.
they made fun of you. What did they say? All right. Well,
Yeah, I don't see how you guys are supposed to get in here. I
Uh,
guess go through.
my
this
guess is that we would get in
door.
here through the way we're coming. If I remember right, Chris, like I have done this, but it's been a little bit. Chris, do you have like a flyer, or can you turn anything that flies or jumps? Maybe you can jump across here with your spider.
I might be able to do that. I could try, but I'm dead next turn if I.
Oh shit! I'm walking around. God damn it! I was clicking on the. I was trying to click.
I
the,
can always res you if we need
and
to.
resize the fucking chat thing.
Whatever. I'm about to run in there
There's
There's a
anyway.
route round the
There's
right
a-
for them.
Also, your turn's not over.
Oh, so-
or you have
okay.
a bonus action.
Somebody in the chat is saying that you can that. So you're talking about, buddy in the chat. You're talking about right here, this area.
End your turn, Dave, when you can.
He says you can get in here on a route.
Yeah, I think it's over here, like right here, is where we can come in. But we're in a fight. The problem is we're in a fight with the kobolds. So
Yeah. So have fun.
Buddy in the chat, before I try this
Okay.
dangerous kill myself move, do you know if I get here with my
Jeff, I'm gonna leave
spider,
that
will
one
I be
for
able to
you,
jump
the one
through
that's already
here?
There, like he's
Divining
practically
the
dead.
gods.
Am I out of spell slots? No. How come I can't cast any of my spells?
It's not your turn just yet. Oh no,
Oh.
it is. I don't
It is?
know. Well, I can't look at your stuff, I guess, while you're.
I'm pretty sure that'll kill you.
Do I not have an action? What is...
Oh, because you started the attack. Yeah, you
Yeah.
started it with the action, so you cannot. You only have a bonus action for the first turn. And
Yeah, I'm pretty
only
sure
some
I'm
of them were
fucked either way.
surprised, not all of them. So
Oh, wait. I didn't want to go there. God. Oh,
you're fine. I'm gonna walk in front, and I'm gonna try to get right here. And
I was gonna...
oh no, they all came in
Right.
first. Fuck.
Wow. So many of them.
This is that mob AI.
Get out of there, and I'll drop the sword.
the bomb.
down.
Sword guy.
The sword cloud, or whatever it is.
Oh yeah,
Dagger cloud. Cloud of daggers.
yeah, that's a good one.
Darkness.
You could
What's
put it
the
right
darkness
here,
thing
or maybe like yeah.
that
here
I
would be
had
fine.
going on?
Honestly,
did my
Jeff,
guy
you
have a
could probably hit me with it if you want. Oh well, we'll go at the same time. Never mind. How are you doing, Chris? Let's see what Chris is up to.
How many opportunity attacks I get to take? If I,
If you boys can find a talking
the
statue,
one?
they are like a corner away
You
from
will
you.
take as many as there are things
He says
Dagger.
like
if
red swords by you.
this dude in the chat says if you boys can find a talking statue, they are like 2 feet away from you. Not sure what that means.
What's the
We're in the
distance?
middle of a fight. We'll never get to you right now.
I'll just take. I'm gonna take the hit.
Yeah,
try to
these
keep
things
them
don't
up.
seem to hit very hard, and they're They're on like the mob,
I missed.
and they don't seem to have good attack.
Alright, let's get back here. Blast some bitches.
Oh no, this was my bonus action. I didn't mean to do that. Fuck, I'm super fucked.
Especially when Savage Tech uses you as youngling targets practice.
Oh damn. Okay.
Oh, that one. That one didn't push. Or did I have
Probably because we're in the way. Remember, it has to have. It won't push like past people. You have to have the line of it needs somewhere to land or to travel through.
I
And if
didn't
it would
push
hit.
either. Did he?
This one just died.
Whoops,
I'm
shit.
trying to wonder if
That
I
is
had
not
it,
what I meant to
turned
do.
off or
God
not.
damn it. I can't remember any of the
maybe. You could
buttons for
check.
this game.
If
It's
it's
in
if
the
if it's swirling around
passives.
it, is it on or off?
Yeah, that's on.
Okay, cool.
There's no way to undo your move in this game, right?
No.
No, unfortunately.
Like before you commit to the whole thing. Yeah, because you could like do things that have
Sorry
consequences
for
in
the
between.
ambiguity.
Yeah.
I don't want to spoil
Like the
anything for
reaction
you.
or whatever.
No, that's cool. Thanks, man.
Alright, Jeff, I'm gonna thunderwave these fuckers back, and then you do your thing, okay?
Alright, sounds good.
Don't I have some one-time cast?
What is this? Destructive. When you roll thunder or lightning damage, you can channel your divinity to deal maximum damage instead. Fuck yeah.
Oh, that looked cool. Wow, it made my camera go all fucking crazy. What's going on?
Should I drop them on these guys close to you, or
I
drop
think put it at the doorway,
far
right?
away?
Because we got
Yeah.
more behind there. And that way you could get the ones there, and I'll hold on to these guys here. Yeah, look at that, fucking
Ah,
awesome.
doing it again. Oof.
If your camera's getting caught on stuff, just try zooming in or out a little bit, and that sometimes it just does that. Oh, that guy's drunk and thinking about what to do. He's gonna dash. I think dangerous
Like
terrain.
actively running away and making and doing turns, Chris.
Reaction: Wrath of Lightning. If a nearby enemy near you can retaliate with a strike of lightning that deals. That sounds fun. Or Wrath of Thunder. Oh, I could do thunder or lightning damage. Lightning, fucking zap him. Jackass.
Zoomed in like super close when you did that.
Yeah, me too. That was weird. There's a new patch. I wonder if some stuff got wonky.
Alright, I'm gonna end my turn and probably die.
Okay, yeah, I have some.
Where'd you run? Oh, you did not make it far, unfortunately.
Oh my god, her jump is crazy long.
Yeah, Githyanki can jump real far. I'll bring you back up when we.
I mean, they're gonna kill me.
Yeah, I mean, I can res you. Remember?
Oh yeah, you're cleric now.
Yeah.
Now I can actually watch your fight somehow because I'm dead,
Just
right?
double click on this. Dave, see if you can knock these two. These should be knockable people now since there's nothing in the way. If you can knock them back into the thing, or at least this one now. You probably can't do that one at the angle. That might
try to get to an angle that
Yeah.
can get both of them, maybe. I don't know. Now I think I'm off on maybe both of them somehow. All right.
Hey, you got that one.
Hey,
and
got
he
one.
just outright killed him.
I just have to be like right here to get that guy.
Yeah.
I think.
We're doing it. These guys are probably gonna die the next turn, so I think we're almost done.
All right, my turn then.
Alright, I guess I'll just.
Now they're just throwing fuck. Oh my god! What a. Oh, they got me. They downed me with a rock. they fucking throwing rocks at me.
They headshot you.
Yeah. I think just finish the fight. You're almost over. If you have spells. Just
Do we have
fucking-
Oh, you're not dead.
Was that 2 fucking critical hits in a row on
No, the last one was a 4 out of 10.
me? Okay.
14 damage overall.
We're
Surprised
also
you're so
pretty
low,
low
though.
level. I didn't realize. Oh, I was taking a lot. I took all those hits. Remember, they all.
Oh
swarmed me.
yeah, forgot you didn't. You stayed there.
Yeah. And we're only level 5. We're pretty low level.
Was the levels go up to 12 or something?
12, yeah.
Gotta
I might
say,
need someone to get
You're
me
a
up
little
though,
on
because I am on
fire, yeah.
fire.
my
Just because I will die, and then we won't be able to get Chris up.
Shit.
Thank you.
did you guys get experience for something while I was sneaking in there?
How often do you stream?
Sometimes you just get experience for exploring new areas.
I was gonna say the game seemed to reinforce. It looked like
The
it gave me
action to get
experience
me up,
for
so now you
sneaking
only have your
in,
bonus action.
and it didn't seem
Yeah.
to be giving me any hint that those people would attack me, and then they just did.
Yeah, it was a bummer. It was a little bit of a fucking
Jesus,
hell.
fuck. I gotta stand in front of you or something.
It's fine. Well, I was only worried about the fire because I think that would have ticked my death thing. So feel free to just
Leave you down.
hit
yeah,
away
just kill
now.
these
I
bandits, yeah.
stream.
But they won't
check
come
that
out
out. I wish-
until, or just close that fucking door.
Well,
Jeff,
there's
you
probably
might-
daggers
you
in
might-
front of it.
I stream. I don't know, once or twice a week about, but if it's a weekend, usually it's like a 6 or 7 hour stream. But I don't. A lot of my stream is just me making games and super boring. Most of my game playing stream is me playing random games or Hunt Showdown.
You, Ronin? It's like,
What the fuck did that last missile go?
there it is.
There it goes, a hit.
It went off to the, like, through you, me. and
Yeah,
then
weird. It must
circled
not have found a
around.
path.
All right, Dave, you want me to turn this off or not?
Yeah, might as well. And they're not gonna come in, and it'll probably just be
Yeah,
faster.
they're just gonna be throwing rocks at me. Now they might actually come in. We'll see.
Wait, did you go down again, Marcus?
This guy's probably gonna dash him, I guess. Yeah,
Is this one drunk?
he's drunk.
Okay,
They're all
hold
drunk.
on.
Oh shit, he's gonna explode! If he dies to fire damage, he'll explode, I guess.
Oh, yeah.
What else does he have? Okay, I don't need him.
Oh god.
Double misses. God.
Yeah, he rolled a
Let
2 and a
me
2, a double 2.
back up in case he does explode.
Oh,
Jesus.
fucking rocks. Don't worry, guys. I got a successful roll.
Alright,
Nice, Jeff. Thank you for killing him before the fire could.
they're both right there. Alright, let's fucker. Take this shit. I guess I didn't have to. Probably.
Lewis, I'll drop in every stream I can catch. Nat, I'm interested in learning to dev.
Oh, shit.
Zero.
Right on.
You do
Do
is
they have
really cool.
immunity?
To
Right on.
lightning?
No, they don't. I don't know why that happened. Let me look. Took no damage. Oh, they succeed on their saving throw. They have evasion. So they succeed on their saving throw, and they have evasion, which lets them, if they succeed on the saving throw, reduce it to 0.
Damn.
It's like the cunning action thing for rogue. You can use it again next turn. Just don't lose your concentration on it. I forget if it's a concentration spell, but walk away. So
It doesn't like spend my thing if it doesn't
it
succeed.
spends an action, but you get to use it 10 times or 10 turns, unless you get hit and you lose
Oh, I'm
concentration.
channeling it. I'm concentrating on it. Gotcha.
Yeah,
So it will stay there.
yeah.
They're probably gonna just run through though. Now. Dick.
Ah. You can get advantage on concentration, I think, for in
I don't have
a.
those gloves that make me snare missiles.
I can't look at your equipment, but
I do. How's it not working?
all right, Jeff, finish the job. Missile snaring. You can intercept missiles from ranged weapon attacks. It's not. Maybe it's because it's not a ranged weapon. Reducing because it's a throw attack.
Mhm.
My 1D. You can only reduce damage from an attack.
God.
Yeah, so close. They're almost dead though. Just one good hit. Honestly, if you want to throw a firebomb on them, they'll explode and probably kill each other. If you have a firebomb.
Next time I'll shoot.
Or Davey, you can just zap them with your Eldritch Blast. That'll probably finish him.
Yeah, they're pretty low.
There it is.
Your nose up. Get up, you bitch.
Alright, I'm back. I'm the best cleric. Oh man, it's taken me quite a long time to stand. I'm hit with a lot of rocks. Walk into that, Jeff. There we go. That's probably good enough. Alright. Oh, he almost put me to sleep.
Yeah, but I healed you.
He did. There's a journal here. Of some sexual kobold drawings.
How'd you get into game deving?
Alright, let's see. You guys loot these. I'm gonna see about trying to get Chris up.
I got into game dev from doing game jams, and if you're trying to get into it, I think they're a great jumping off point. If you're trying to learn to make 2D games, I think Game Maker is a good place to start. If you're trying to make 3D games, probably go with Unreal or Godot. That's what I would say. I haven't actually used Godot, but it's open source. It's relatively known to be well supported. You know, Unity's also good. That's the one I'm using, but you know, they had that whole clusterfuck a few months back. I'm not sure if you're aware of or if you heard of, but yeah. What kind of games you trying to make?
How do I get to Chris's corpse? I thought it was in here, but now I'm mistaken. It looks like.
Yeah, Unity shot themselves I the foot W/that one.
Yeah, for sure. For sure.
There's a fight in there. Dave saw all those guys.
Oh, I shouldn't go down there?
Down where are you?
If you climb up to the roof, you can go down.
Oh, okay. Yeah, let me go to you. That looks like the right way. I think when I did this, jumped on those people before they could kill those other people. So I
chest out of the fucking top of
I
this.
didn't have to. I wasn't locked out.
Alright, what's invisible up here? Huh?
It's actually like now below you. Invisible.
Oh.
Where did you go, Jeff?
Oh, that green.
Oh, where's that? Oh, that's not where Chris is. That looks like somewhere else.
Oh, I don't know. Versus.
I went in through the big main doors.
So you can join us.
Stardew Valley.
She's
Pixie
muted
stole
right
my
now.
heart with the
Rats
ability
or-
to tell stories and shiz.
I see him, he's right over there.
I can't find an entrance to his.
Something along the lines of Stardew Valley. Right on. Yeah, I've thought about trying to make one of those kinds of games, like a cozy game, like a something like Stardew or Animal Crossing, one of those. The yeah, it's I think I'm trying to think. There's like a good set of tutorials out there for like a big part of those games is like, timers, like just like first thing I would think about with a game like that is like what if like is those timers like time passing, what does the day night cycle look like? The one I loved Stardew Valley, but I did actually find it kind of more stressful than most people do, I think, because like everything's on a timer, right? Like my dream game like that would actually be like a combination of Animal Crossing and where Animal Crossing has the like your time is tied to the real world time and there's never really a rush to do anything. But also just the things that you're actually doing in Stardew I think are more interesting. So like yeah, I would just start by making a top-down 2D game, making a day-night cycle, and putting a bunch of different stuff on timers, and allowing you to like, you know, plant things and change the world in whatever way, and just see what's fun. Did you guys get me? Are we gonna fight? No, we're not. Oh wait, am I unmuted? Sorry, I muted myself.
Run into this potion, Chris. I threw it at you, but I didn't hit you, so. Hey, run in.
I'm trying, but my controller's taking a second there.
I guess I could just heal you with Healing Word, but it's not a great spell. Cure Wounds is a little better here.
I probably have a potion or two.
That's something. Alright. Alright, Dave, we successfully rescued Chris. What are you up to?
Chris, I don't know. I don't know how to get to where you guys went. Oh, I guess you guys climbed all the way up.
Yeah, and then we needed Featherfall to get down here, so now we have to get back to Dave. We've like passed through by a lot to get there.
I'm gonna jump, or not jump, but Misty step down to you guys or something.
No, yeah, you might have to do two. Well, I don't know if you might be able to see it. So hold on, let me see if I can find you. Yeah, so I went up there onto the top, and then this way. Oh, is that ping not working? Yeah, this way. I climbed onto this. Not that, this.
There's a fucking bird though. You can talk to it.
You could try talking to the bird. You don't have animal speak though.
I'm wrapped up. Hold on. Okay.
So I climbed onto that and then I jumped down into that hole that you see.
Wait, where's Dave?
Oh, here's a lever. Hold on, Dave. You might not have to do that. There's a lever here. Okay, this just opens the door. Oh, Chris, if only you could have opened the door for us.
Which door?
And we could have come in.
There's no way I was getting anywhere. Like there's just too much open space, and they were incredibly mobile.
All right, we're fine, Dave. We can just meet you now with the way we can come in back with the way we came. You don't have to do that.
They just kill Chris and leave?
Yeah, I think so.
Fuck this cat.
Ah, there's a person in here.
So is there like just for future reference any sort of indicator as to like when you're gonna anyone's like suspicious of you or anything like that?
No, I was surprised that they let you in entirely, honestly. Do we want to go fight these things in here?
There's a similar one
that Dave
called
saw.
Seed. The in-game population ages
Sure.
with your character in regards to playtime, but God knows how they figured that out.
Oh, that sounds right as hell. So, all right, where are we going?
Can come climb here.
What's in this?
I gotta take a break. I
Okay.
gotta be done for a little bit. But potentially could be back later, maybe.
Alright, no worries.
See it.
Later. Well, we got a little bit of Baldur's Gate in.
I was gonna go into this basement next.
Try not to go too far, because Dave won't be able
Yeah,
to.
we can wait for Dave.
Save real quick.
What's this game called? Kinseed. This game's pretty. Well, anybody want to watch me play Immortality and help me?
I'm probably gonna use this opportunity if we're not playing to hang out with Sammy for a little bit.
I'm not feeling too good. I think I'm gonna go lay down.
Oh, sorry.
Right on.
Sucks.
I mean, not right on that you're not feeling good, but catch you guys later.
Later.
Later,
Alright.
buddy in the chat. Good luck with your Stardew game.
You create a family generation to my knowledge. Your first character dies and so on so forth.
That's cool. You know, that actually is not probably as
Enjoy
hard
your
as it.
evening, boss.
Yeah, you too. But that whole family generation thing is probably not, I mean, the content of it, like what happens when they're different ages and how do they act differently and etc. That probably is, you know, that's a lot of stuff to make, but the actual aging thing is probably not nearly as hard as you think it is. It's literally just a number going up and something saving that number. But if you do get into Game Maker, I could certainly give you advice if you ever needed it. So feel free to stop by. Or if you wanted something even simpler, like you can try Pico 8 even. Anyway, catch you later, buddy.